Super Dragon Ball. So that's how it is. Goku nodded, finally understanding why Trunks had said the enemy looked like him. An apprentice Supreme Kai actually did such things. Damn, which universe's Supreme Kai is so useless to bring in such a scum? Beerus, on the other hand, looked furious. If the enemy is an apprentice Supreme Kai, then he should have surely known the connection between Supreme Kai and God of Destruction. No wonder no God of Destruction in that world stepped in to deal with that **tard. It's likely that Supreme Kais from all universes have already been killed. Teacher Lin Chen, since the person in the black clothes is using Mr. Goku's body, his strength will surely increase. Please, come with me to the future world and eliminate him quickly. Knowing the true identity of Black Goku, Trunks' expression suddenly changed. He recalled the enemy's continuously increasing strength from the moment of his appearance and already knew the reason in his heart. No wonder the enemy's strength keeps increasing. It's probably because previously Black Goku hadn't completely mastered the power within Goku's body. If not dealt with quickly, the strength of that Black Goku is likely to become even more formidable. Yes, let's go and eliminate him. Cold glints flashed in the eyes of both Goku and Vegeta. One eager for a challenge, wanting to test himself against his other self. The other wanting to avenge Bulma of the future world. Whis, Beerus-sama, do you want to come with us? Goku suddenly asked. Beerus shook his head and said, sorry, that won't do. I can only leave this matter to you. God of Destruction and angels cannot travel through time unless under special circumstances. Alright, then let's go deal with him. Trunks, let's go. Goku impatiently said. Kakarot, His Majesty Lynx hasn't spoken yet. Vegeta reminded. Oh, right, almost forgot. Brother Lin Chen, are you coming with us? Lin Chen hadn't decided when suddenly a heavy aura filled the air. Lin Chen turned abruptly, looking towards the sky not far away. Huh? Could it be that he chased after Trunks? As Lin Chen spoke, others were also surprised, turning to look in the same direction. Boom! A white thunderbolt suddenly descended from the sky. Then, as if the sky was split open by this thunderbolt, a black portal suddenly appeared in the sky. And then, a familiar figure walked out of the black portal. Goku? Is he the Black Goku Trunks mentioned? He really looks exactly like Goku, huh? Appearing in front of everyone was the Black Goku from Trunks' future world. Although the attire was different, and he wore an unusual earring and a ring, in all other aspects, he was indeed identical to Goku. Whis! Look at his ring! Beerus suddenly exclaimed. Following his words, Whis' gaze fixed on the ring on Black Goku's hand. A time ring? No wonder he can travel through time. Lin Chen was right, he might indeed be a Supreme Kai. Time ring is an equipment only a Supreme Kai can use. Since he can use it, he must be a Supreme Kai. A Supreme Kai, who should be protecting humanity, has begun to exterminate it. Such a heinous existence, it is truly unheard of. Trunks, is this the grave you've chosen? I must thank you. It seems you've already picked my next target. Black Goku's gaze landed beside Trunks. Goku? So, he is still alive in this world. Wonderful. I've been wanting to test my strength against you with this body. Speaking up to this point, Black Goku's gaze swept over the others, leaving him somewhat puzzled. What kind of world is this, exactly? Why are there not only Saiyans present, but also many individuals he had never seen in other worlds? And even God of Destruction Beerus is here as well. Hey, hey! You stole my body, and now you have the audacity to appear before me? Who are you? Come clean right now. At this time, Goku flew into the sky, standing in front of Black Goku. He, Goku, I have been looking forward to meeting you for a long time. If you want to know who I am, defeat me first. Great, I couldn't ask for anything better. Both Gokus simultaneously revealed smiles. In the next moment, terrifying auras emanated from both, and then they directly transformed into two beams, colliding in an instant. Bang! A deafening collision rang out, the sound spreading instantly, a shockwave quickly rushing in all directions. Fortunately, Lin Chen was prepared, raising his hand to create a barrier using power of creation. Who is that guy? He can use the power of law. Upon seeing the power that Lin Chen effortlessly displayed, Black Goku was startled, and he paid the price for that. Goku's fist directly smashed into his face, sending him flying towards the outskirts of West City. Following that, Goku chased after him. Seeing the two of them go further away, Vegeta snorted. That Kakarot, still caring about his surroundings at a time like this? Dad, Black Goku's power is way more than what you saw just now. Don't worry, Kakarot's strength is also more than what you just saw. In the distance, Black Goku was surprised by the strength of this world's Goku. His body suddenly stiffened, stopping in midair. I didn't expect this world's Goku to have such skills. But can you block this move? After saying this, Black Goku began to gather ki, veins flashing on his forehead. His muscles twisted, but his aura continued to grow with each passing moment. Boom, soon, Black Goku's aura surpassed the limits of Super Saiyan 3. Far away in West City, sensing this aura, everyone immediately understood why Trunks wasn't a match for this guy. This aura, it's clearly godly ki. That guy could also use that transformation. Sensing the faint godly ki in the aura, Vegeta was surprised at first, then flew up, intending to watch the battle up close. Not just him, Lin Luo and the others also flew towards that direction. At this point, Black Goku's aura was on the verge of exploding, endless energy spreading in all directions in the air. Sizzle! Rose-colored flames suddenly scattered, and the color of Black Goku's hair instantly changed. Not the crimson of Super Saiyan God, nor the dark blue of Super Saiyan Blue. But a head of rose-colored hair. Upon seeing Black Goku suddenly transform, Goku immediately came to a halt and exclaimed, "What kind of transformation is this?" Black Goku didn't reply. Instead, he took a deep breath and blissfully narrowed his eyes, savoring the incredible power coursing through his body. Every time I transform into this form, it's a marvelous experience. Divine power is so intoxicating. Divine power? Goku looked at Black Goku with amusement. That's right. Suddenly, Black Goku opened his eyes, which were devoid of any emotion. I call this transformation, in your Saiyan terms, Super Saiyan Rose. It's the divine power infused into your Super Saiyan transformation, a genuine power of the god. How could mere mortals like you understand the wonder of this power? Black Goku spread his arms and burst into hearty laughter, feeling as if the whole world was in his palm. Trunks, who had caught up, saw Black Goku's transformation, and his expression suddenly changed. Mr. Goku, let me help you. This transformation is terrifying, we need to gather everyone's strength. Trunks was about to rush in to help but was held back by Vegeta. Father? Vegeta shook his head. Don't worry, Kakarot can handle that Black Goku. Super Saiyan Rose is nothing more than Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, just with a different color. There's no real difference in power. Kakarot can deal with him by himself. Even if that mysterious person with an unknown identity has taken over Goku's body, it doesn't matter. Every cell within Goku's body has been forged through long periods of intense battles and training. Black Goku ultimately only stole Goku's body, and he still hasn't fully mastered Goku's true power. Vegeta could discern this at a glance. What? Trunks was puzzled. At that moment, Goku also transformed into Super Saiyan Blue. Sensing the divine power from Goku's body, Black Goku was dumbfounded. How is this possible? Why would a mere mortal like you possess divine power? It's just a transformation, what's the big deal? Goku laughed. Impossible. Divine power is something only gods can wield. Black Goku screamed and charged towards Goku. The two identical-looking people clashed like two sides of a mirror. However, their outward resemblance didn't mean their strengths were similar. After just a few rounds of battle, the outcome was already clear. Although Goku was currently in Super Blue form, his actual strength surpassed Goku in the original work. Because in front of Goku, there were two towering mountains, Lin Chen and Broly. To catch up with them, this world's Goku had to work harder than any Goku in any world. As a result, even though the transformation was no different from the transformation in the original work, Goku's normal state strength in this world was much higher than Goku in other worlds. This included Goku, whose body was taken over by Zamasu. Super Saiyan Rose was essentially a variation of Super Saiyan Blue, influenced by Zamasu's soul and divinity, causing the energy color to change from blue to rose. With the same level of strength increase, the deciding factor for victory naturally became one's individual foundational strength. And in terms of foundation, this world's Goku was absolutely not weaker than any other version of himself in other worlds. Ha! In an instant, Goku found a weakness in Black Goku's defense and broke through it. Immediately afterwards, a terrifying and concentrated barrage of attacks rained down. The sound of the countless blows was like a drumbeat, never stopping. Black Goku's body was like a puppet, being manipulated at will by Goku. It was unclear how much time had passed, but Black Goku, badly battered, collapsed on the ground like a pile of rotten flesh. How is this possible? What's going on with this world's Goku? As Black Goku struggled to stand amidst his injuries, Goku launched another attack. However, this time, Black Goku suddenly unleashed Solar Flare. The dazzling light forced Goku to temporarily close his eyes. Seizing this opportunity, Black Goku hesitated for no moment and attempted to leave the place. But at that moment, a violent shockwave suddenly appeared, narrowly missing Black Goku. Although it didn't hit him, it momentarily halted his escape. Idiot, with me here, don't even think about escaping. Also transformed into Super Saiyan Blue, Vegeta slowly flew over, standing in front of Black Goku. How is this possible? Even you have mastered divine power? What is going on with you people? Black Goku exclaimed in disbelief. Considering he had visited several worlds, this was the first time he encountered Goku and Vegeta with such formidable strength. Their strength surpassed even the Goku he initially replaced, and in some cases, they were even stronger. Figure it out for yourself. But let me tell you, compared to Kakarot, I'm much stronger. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. At this moment, Lin Luo and Taro, Caulifla and Kale, along with Kaba, all arrived nearby. They had also transformed into their respective strongest forms. From legendary Super Saiyan to Super Saiyan Blue, the power emanating from each person left Black Goku wide-eyed. What's going on in this world? Why are there so many powerful mortals? Surprised? The two strongest among us haven't even shown up yet. Vegeta pointed at Lin Luo and Taro with his finger. Their father is stronger than the god of destruction Birasama. No, it can't be. Black Goku wore a face of disbelief. Father, don't underestimate him. This guy is still hiding many secrets. At least, subdue him first before saying anything. Trunks rushed over and said. Alright, Black Goku, you can now go and die. With that, Vegeta prepared to unleash his ultimate attack. However, at that moment, Black Goku sneered, "Hee, you think you can kill me? Dream on. How could a god be killed by mere mortals?" Black Goku grinned savagely, then raised his right hand, pointing towards his own forehead. This is. Those familiar with Goku's actions were momentarily stunned. Before they could react, Black Goku had already disappeared in front of them. Damn it! Instant transmission. Several people lunged at thin air, hastily trying to sense the direction in which Black Goku had escaped. However, They forgot that Black Goku had already transformed into Super Saiyan Rose, and they could not sense the aura of a god. As Goku and the others were anxiously looking for the whereabouts of Black Goku, in reality, Black Goku hadn't gone far. Just over 100 kilometers away from them, in West City, at Bulma's house, Lin Chen and the others who hadn't left yet saw a battered Black Goku appear above them. TCH. Seeing that Beerus and Whis were still here, Black Goku frowned inwardly and then quickly shifted his gaze to the time machine on the side. An energy blast was thrown, directly shattering the time machine into pieces. During this time, Black Goku remained vigilant, guarding against Beerus and the others on the ground, fearing they might attack him. Fortunately, Beerus and the others didn't make any move even when the time machine was destroyed. After confirming that the time machine was completely scrapped, Black Goku finally breathed a sigh of relief. He looked down at the people below and whispered, "I'll let you people off this time, but once I become a true god, it will be the time of your destruction." Saying that, Black Goku raised his right hand, rotating the silver ring on his finger. "Beerus-sama, he seems to be planning to escape using the time ring," Whis reminded. Beerus remained still and looked to the side, saying, "Hey, Lin Chen, aren't you going to do anything?" Lin Chen didn't speak but silently watched as Black Goku activated the ring. Then, a silver-white power of time enveloped Black Goku, and a black rift appeared. Just as Black Goku was about to be pushed into the rift by the power of time, Lin Chen finally moved. His body suddenly flashed, appearing in front of the rift. What are you trying to do?" Black Goku exclaimed as he saw Lin Chen blocking the rift. "Fool! This is the power of time. You can't stop me." "Not necessarily." Lin Chen's calm voice echoed in Black Goku's ears. Then, Black Goku watched in astonishment as a silver-white power of time shone around Lin Chen. At the same time, Lin Chen's hair gradually turned silver-gray. "How is this possible? You can actually use the power of time. Who are you?" "I am Lin Chen, this universe king of Saiyans." Just as Lin Chen finished speaking, the power of time that covered Black Goku instantly dissipated, and the rift leading to another world was completely destroyed by the white light emitted by Lin Chen. Immediately after, a purple-black energy appeared in Lin Chen's hands. This is the power of destruction." Black Goku's gaze turned fierce. Who was this Saiyan from another world that he had never seen before? Why did he possess two power of laws that even many gods couldn't master? A mere mortal, how could he master powers that even many gods couldn't? Pfft! The formidable power of destruction struck Black Goku, and the shattered and disintegrating body told him that this was no illusion. This was the genuine power of destruction. "No. You all wait. Someone will inherit my ideals. My justice." Accompanied by a fierce scream, Black Goku's body disappeared completely. When everything ceased to exist, only a silver speck remained amidst the power of destruction. Lin Chen beckoned with his hand and a time ring fell into his hand. After examining it for a moment, Lin Chen placed the ring into his own space and then landed on the ground. "Ah, well done, Mr. Lin Chen. Even the power of the time ring can be disrupted by you," Whis applauded, welcoming Lin Chen back. Beerus then asked, "Lin Chen, what do you plan to do with that ring?" "Time ring is something created by the Supreme Kai of Time. How about returning it directly to her? Let's talk about it when I see Kranoa-sama." Kakarot, Vegeta. Over here. As they were conversing, Goku and the others, who had been chasing Black Goku, came flying back. The group, initially somewhat disappointed for letting Black Goku escape at the last moment, suddenly became ecstatic upon hearing that Black Goku died at Lin Chen's hands. Future Trunks was particularly overjoyed, shedding tears of happiness, until he noticed the time machine was destroyed, slightly dampening his joy. "Trunks, don't be sad. Android 16's time machine is still on Earth. Let's retrieve it and refurbish it, and you can go back," Bulma comforted. Android 16, who had accompanied Trunks back to the future world, had stolen Trunks' time machine and returned to Lin Chen's world. The time machine he used had never been discovered, and if found, it could be used to send Trunks back immediately. Unknown to Bulma, even if they didn't find the time machine, it didn't matter. With Lin Chen's abilities, sending Trunks back would be a matter of minutes. Just as Lin Chen was about to speak, suddenly, Whis next to him coughed. "Sorry to interrupt, Lin Chen, but someone important is looking for you." "Someone important?" "Yes, the Grand Priest just sent a message, saying that Zeno-sama wants to see you. Please go to Zeno-sama's palace immediately." "Ah, Zeno-sama." Lin Chen was taken aback, not having expected this. Beerus' eyes widened. What? Zeno-sama? Why would Zeno-sama want to see him? Lin Chen also wondered, yeah, why does Zeno-sama want to see me? I don't know, but it's Zeno-sama's order. Anyway, now that Black Goku is dead, Mr. Lin Chen, you don't need to rush to investigate Black Goku's secrets, right? Alright. After a moment of contemplation, Lin Chen said to Goku and the others, Goku, Vegeta, take care of Trunks for now. We'll talk about Black Goku when I come back. Okay. In the gloomy future world, future Trunks world. In a dark region of space, countless steel fragments were floating. These fragments all came from the artificial planet Big Geet Star, which was originally stationed in this region of space. Now, with the destruction of Big Geet Star, only these fragments proved that it used to exist. However, at this moment, a green figure suddenly appeared in this region of space. This green figure was none other than Zamasu, the Supreme Kai apprentice from an unknown world. Where is he? Zamasu looked around and didn't see the expected companion. Strange, his aura is still lingering here. Suddenly, Zamasu's gaze fell on a shiny fragment nearby. On that piece of fragment, a small light flickered, catching his attention. Reaching out to grab the fragment, Zamasu took a closer look and found it to be a video recording device. On the surface of the device was carved Zamasu's symbol using ki. Gently pressing a switch on the device, the image of Black Goku appeared before Zamasu. Yo, the other me. In the image, Black Goku smiled slightly at the camera and said, I've already destroyed the Big Geek Star. Next, I'll go after Trunks. The humans in this world seem to have invented a machine that can travel through spacetime. I've tracked Trunks' coordinates using the time ring. Just to be safe, I'll personally visit that world and destroy Trunks along with the gods of that world. It won't take too long. Wait here for a moment. As the video ended, Zamasu smirked, that guy, even though we are the same person, seems to be influenced by the fighting instincts of that body. Well, as long as we can achieve our long-cherished wish, even using the power of those lowly humans is worth it. Ha ha ha. In the darkness, Zamasu laughed heartily as he looked at the ruins of the Big Geet Star in front of him. However, after 3 days had passed in this world, the waiting Zamasu began to worry. Why hasn't that guy returned yet? Did something happen to him? Impossible, who in this world could harm him? Could it be the god of destruction? Zamasu furrowed his brow. The existence of Black Goku was essential for the Project Zero mortals, not to mention the time ring in Black Goku's possession. Losing it would have a significant impact on the entire plan. No, I must go to that world and see what's going on. With that thought, Zamasu also activated his time ring, following the trail of Black Goku, heading towards the other world. However, this time, Zamasu left a room for maneuver and made some adjustments to the time travel path. Lin Chen's world, in a much higher dimension than the sacred world of the Kai and God of Destruction's planet. Lin Chen and Whis, along with East Supreme Kai Shin who brought them here, appeared in this dimension. In front of them, a person of short stature, dressed in dark green attire, somewhat resembling Whis, was already waiting. Welcome everyone. Upon seeing this person, Whis immediately bowed, it has been a long time. Shin also nodded. It is a pleasure to meet you, Grand Priest. The person in front of the three was none other than the Grand Priest, at the pinnacle of all angels, and also the father of all angels. Grand Priest Sama, hello, I am Lin Chen. Lin Chen also politely greeted. Before the Grand Priest, Lin Chen couldn't help but be cautious. Compared to Zeno, the Grand Priest was a more mysterious and unpredictable person. If Zeno is described as an autocratic emperor, then the Grand Priest is like a prime minister managing the affairs of a country. But Zeno's mind was childlike and somewhat predictable, whereas the Grand Priest was different. Before him, Lin Chen had to be careful. Grand Priest Sama, is there a specific reason why Zeno-sama has summoned Lin Chen this time? Yes, let Zeno-sama explain the specifics. Please follow me for now. Then, the Grand Priest led the three towards a building. This building was Zena's palace. Zena's palace was in the shape of character. Around the palace, there floated a dozen or so irregularly shaped bare rocks. Above the rocks, one could see miniature transparent universes, which were the projections of the 12 universes. Although it looked small from the outside, the interior of Zena's palace was like a universe, with vast and immense space inside. Along the corridor, ancient white pillars were suspended in the air on both sides. Underneath the feet of everyone walking in the corridor was an endless path of starry sky. After walking for a while, a tall throne appeared in front of everyone. On the throne, Zeno was sitting, swinging his feet, with two Zena's bodyguards standing on either side. One of them even stared at Lin Chen as he approached. With a chuckle, Lin Chen's gaze fell on the side of the throne. There, three people were already waiting ahead. Lin Chen knew all three of them. One was the god of destruction of Universe 10, Rumshi, who looks like an elephant. One looked like a little girl, Universe 10's Angel Kusu, and the other was the Supreme Kai Gawasu of Universe 10. Seeing them, Lin Chen suddenly understood the purpose of Zena's summoning. Did they snitch to Zeno? Your subordinate greets you, Zeno-sama. Greetings, Zeno-sama. Whis, Shin, and Lin Chen stepped forward, offering their respective greetings to Zeno. Zeno emitted a childlike voice, which could be considered a greeting. Then, he jumped down from the throne, tiptoeing over to Lin Chen. On the oval-shaped face, adorned with shades of blue and purple, an expression of displeasure appeared. Lin Chen, I called you here, it's not for something good. Someone complained about you. What do you think I should do? Complaint? Whis asked, Zeno-sama, who complained? Them. Zeno pointed to the people from Universe 10. Grand Priest continued, everyone from Universe 7, Supreme Kai Gawasu of Universe 10 has complained to Zeno-sama, saying that Lin Chen of Universe 7 has killed the Supreme Kai apprentice of Universe 10 without authorization. Is there such a thing? Hey, Lin Chen, I thought you were a good person. It's not right to randomly kill a Supreme Kai apprentice. Although I don't want to erase you, Grand Priest says that killing a Supreme Kai apprentice is a serious crime. Zeno said in a cute voice, sounding as if erasing is as easy as taking a stroll. Lin Chen sighed, knowing that the inevitable had finally arrived. However, he didn't expect that the other party would escalate the matter directly to Zeno. Yes. Lin Chen nodded, Zeno-sama, it's true that I killed the Supreme Kai apprentice Zamasu of Universe 10. But I had my reasons for killing Zamasu. Nonsense. Your so-called reasons are just your arbitrary guesses. Gawasu immediately rebuked angrily. But at this moment, Zeno suddenly turned around and said to Gawasu expressionlessly, shut up. Yes, yes. Gawasu was immediately shocked, hurriedly kneeling down, not daring to speak out of turn. Lin Chen, what is going on? Zeno turned around and asked again. The situation is like this. So, Lin Chen went on to explain the matter about Zamasu in detail. However, after hearing it, Zeno turned toward the Grand Priest, is what he said true? Although holding a supreme position, Zeno is actually like a child who knows nothing. He didn't even understand what Lin Chen just said. But the Grand Priest understood. Zeno-sama, if what he said is true, then Zamasu really deserved to die. Mr. Lin Chen not only has committed no sin, but also deserves credit. Oh. Is that true? I knew it, Lin Chen doesn't seem like a bad person. Zeno-sama. But at this moment, the god of destruction Rumshi spoke at the risk of his life. All of this is just his one-sided story, there is no evidence at all. No, what he said is true, and as for evidence, I have some. Suddenly, the voice of a little girl rang out at the scene. Who is it? A stranger's voice suddenly rang out at the scene, and God of Destruction Rumshi's expression turned serious as he turned to look in the direction of the voice. A little girl in a pink dress emerged from the darkness. Who are you? Rumshi shouted, about to interrogate her, but to his surprise, an excited voice came from behind him. Oh, it's Kranoa. Zeno shouted excitedly and rushed forward, but Rumshi happened to block his way. Before the two could collide, Zena's two bodyguards took action, each kicking Rumshi away. Kranoa, why are you here? Zeno-sama, it's been a while, Kranoa greeted with a smile. Witnessing this, Lin Chen asked, Zeno-sama knows the Supreme Kai of Time. Of course, after all, Supreme Kai of Time-sama is the only god in charge of managing time, Grand Priest explained with a smile. Saying that, his gaze fell on Lin Chen again. By the way, I heard that Mr. Lin Chen is also working for the Supreme Kai of Time-sama. Just lending a hand occasionally, Lin Chen replied with a smile. Zeno seems to really like Kranoa, personally holding her hand as they both approached the throne. Kranoa, what did you say just now? You have the evidence. Yes, Zeno-sama. I came this time for Lin Chen. As Kranoa spoke, she greeted Grand Priest, Whis and others. Then, she looked at Supreme Kai Gawasu. Gawasu-sama, I'm here to explain Zamasu's death. But unfortunately, Lin Chen did nothing wrong this time. Zamasu is indeed a dangerous person, and if he hadn't died, it might have been you. What? Gawasu was stunned. Rumshi, who had just gotten up from the ground, asked, Hey. What do you mean by that? Words alone are not enough. Let me explain everything from the beginning. Zeno-sama, can you let go of my hand first? Okay. Zeno let go, looking at Kranoa with curiosity. Kranoa, do you have any evidence? Yes. Kranoa glanced at Lin Chen and began her explanation. She started with the cause of the incident and quickly progressed to the time when Lin Chen killed Zamasu of Universe 10. Then, Kranoa said, after parting ways with Lin Chen, I returned to the time nest and re-investigated Zamasu. For those who may not know, due to certain reasons unknown even to us gods, Universe 7 is the primary main universe in all parallel universes. The other universes exist only within the main world that contains all the universes. And in many worlds, only Universe 7 exists, with no universes outside of Universe 7. At the time nest, I refer to these worlds as mini-worlds, and the world that include all the universes is called the main world. The entire spacetime composed of the main world and mini-worlds is referred to as the Omniverse. According to my calculations, there are currently a total of 444 parallel universes in the Omniverse, but only 36 of them are the main worlds. In other words, there are also 36 worlds where Zamasu exists. So, after separating from Lin Chen, I investigated these 36 main worlds. And then, I discovered this. Kranoa gestured toward the void, and a holographic scene appeared before everyone. This is an event that occurred in World 16. Please take a look for yourselves. Everyone immediately turned their attention to the scene. In the scene, Supreme Kai Gawasu of Universe 10 was leisurely sitting in a courtyard, enjoying tea with a satisfied expression. Apprentice Supreme Kai Zamasu stood behind him, carefully attending to him. Ah! It's that person. Zeno pointed excitedly at Gawasu, causing him to be frightened and kneel on the ground. Zeno-sama, the person in the scene is not him, it's another version of him from World 16. And the person behind him is that Zamasu, Kranoa explained. In the scene, apparently due to tea, Gawasu was educating Zamasu. Soon after, he revealed the secret of the time ring to Zamasu. Huh? Isn't it against the rules to show the time ring to an apprentice Supreme Kai? Zeno asked the Grand Priest. Yes, Zeno-sama. Mr. Gawasu, this shouldn't have happened, Grand Priest said to Gawasu. I apologize sincerely. Gawasu continued to lay prostrate on the ground. Next, I'll speed up the scene a bit. Everyone, please pay close attention, Kranoa said. The scene quickly progressed to the moment when Zamasu was watching the God Tube. In World 16, there is no existence of Lin Chen. However, the tournament between Universe 6 and Universe 7 still happened. In this tournament, a Saiyan named Goku in World 16 stood out. Goku, I remember him. Zeno exclaimed. Kranoa paused slightly, not paying much attention, and continued the playback. Next, everyone saw Zamasu summoning Super Shenron and exchanging bodies with Goku of World 16. Then, he killed Goku and subsequently killed Super Shenron. After completing these actions, Zamasu returned to Universe 10, personally killed Gawasu, and stole the time ring. In the final moments of the scene, everyone saw Zamasu, perhaps fearing exposure and pursuit, using the recently acquired time ring to travel away. The scene concluded there. Kranoa turned to Gawasu and said, Gawasu-sama, although the two worlds may have some differences, as you can see, if Lin Chen hadn't personally killed Zamasu this time, your fate might have been similar to yours in World 16. I was wrong. Gawasu bowed his head, forced to admit his mistake. Indeed, as Kranoa had said, although the two worlds differed, from what he had just witnessed, the attitudes of Zamasu in both worlds were exactly the same. In other words, the Zamasu in his world had harbored murderous intentions toward him long ago. When the opportunity arose, he might have killed him. At this time, God of Destruction Rumshi from Universe 10 asked, Kranoa-sama, although our world's Zamasu is dead, what about the Zamasu in the scene you just showed? I want to destroy him. That **tard. How dare he kill his own mentor? Doesn't he know that when a Supreme Kai dies, the God of Destruction also dies? Rumshi-sama, Zamasu probably knew that, which is why he killed Gawasu, right? The angel Kusu said from the side. Unfortunately, after Zamasu left World 16, he seemed to have had some kind of encounter. From this point onward, I couldn't track Zamasu's whereabouts from the time nest. In fact, if I hadn't discovered the complete annihilation of humanity in 2 mini-worlds earlier, we wouldn't even have known that someone was attacking humans across various worlds. Kranoa stated regretfully. Upon hearing this, Lin Chen realized that Kranoa probably didn't know about the situation in Trunks' world. So, he took out the time ring and said, Kranoa-sama, the Zamasu you saw in the scene just now has already been killed by me. He attacked a world, and coincidentally, that world's Saiyan had a connection with me. When the Saiyan came over to ask for my help, Zamasu followed, and I took the opportunity to kill him. What? Kranoa was shocked, but when she saw the time ring in Lin Chen's hand, she knew he wasn't lying. Not only her, but Gawasu, seeing the ring in Lin Chen's hand, was also astonished. Because that ring, he happened to recognize, was the time ring of Universe 10. The pattern on the time ring varies in each universe, so he was certain that Lin Chen didn't casually grab a ring to deceive them. As they both examined the ring, Zeno exclaimed with admiration, Wow! Lin Chen is truly amazing. You're so powerful. Just as so, Lin Chen smiled, earning him disdainful looks from Zena's 2 bodyguards. And at that moment, Kranoa, who was inspecting the ring, suddenly exclaimed. Zeno-sama, I think I know why I couldn't locate Zamasu earlier. Why? Take a look at this. Klonoa opened her hand, revealing the time ring in her palm. However, at this moment, a faint magic seemed to emerge on the time ring. This is dark magic. Someone has applied dark magic related to time on Zamasu's ring, blocking it from my observation. Wow! Zeno exclaimed, though it was uncertain whether he understood. However, Grand Priest remarked, Dark Demon Realm? Does that mean someone from the Dark Demon Realm is behind Zamasu? It's very likely. Otherwise, a regular time ring wouldn't be able to casually traverse different timelines, Klonoa explained. It turns out that a regular time ring has limitations on time travel. Usually, a ring can only go to the past and future of one timeline. To travel to a parallel universe, you must use the time ring of that parallel universe. In other words, a time ring is like an elevator in a building, allowing one to go to any floor of that building but unable to go to other buildings. To travel to another building, one must use the ring associated with that specific building, i.e. the elevator. However, the ring in Zamasu's possession had been modified with dark magic, allowing him to freely travel to different timelines, like a person using an elevator to go to any floor of any building on a street. This ability far exceeded the original function Supreme Kai of Time endowed the time ring with. Not to mention, the magic on the ring prevented Klonoa from observing the owner of the ring through the power of time. But now that Zamasu has been killed by Lin Chen, it should be fine, right? Universe 10's God of Destruction Rumshi said from the side. No, it's not that simple. Klonoa shook her head. I just checked, and the last world this ring visited was World 27, a main world. In other words, there is also a Zamasu in that world. The Zamasu from these two worlds have likely already met, so I suspect that the Zamasu from that world has also joined the Project Zero Mortals. As she spoke, she slid her hand in another direction, and a black screen appeared in the space. Klonoa frowned and said, in fact, I can no longer directly observe World 27. If that's the case, there might be another modified time ring there. What? Rumshi, upon hearing this, immediately glared fiercely at Gawasu beside him. Look at what you've done. If you hadn't recruited Zamasu, we wouldn't have so many problems. Imori. Gawasu, at this moment, was already burying his head in shame. Klonoa-sama, we can't intervene in the affairs of other worlds, so we'll have to rely on you for this, Grand Priest said to Klonoa. Of course, this is already part of my duty. And Mr. Lin Chen, we misunderstood you today. Well, leave the rest to you. I'll do my best, Lin Chen nodded. Wait. At this time, Grand Priest suddenly stopped Lin Chen. Then, he said to Zeno, Zeno-sama, can you give your summoning button to Lin Chen? Huh? You mean this? Zeno took out a button and displayed it in front of him. Lin Chen recognized the round button in his hand and realized it was the summoning button Zeno gave to Goku in the original work. Yes. Grand Priest nodded. Zeno-sama, Mr. Lin Chen will be fighting in another world. With his abilities, I suspect the Zeno of that world might also take notice. If the Zeno of another world wanted to eliminate Mr. Lin Chen, it could be troublesome. So, I think it would be best if you give Mr. Lin Chen a token, letting the Zeno-sama of other worlds know that Mr. Lin Chen is a friend, not an enemy. Wow, Grand Priest, you're really smart. Thank you for the compliment, Zeno-sama. Hence, Zeno handed the button to Lin Chen. Lin Chen, take care of it. Thank you, Zeno-sama. Upon careful consideration, Lin Chen realized that Grand Priest's words had some merit. Even if it wasn't likely, it was an extra layer of insurance. After all, in the original work, Goku and the others ultimately relied on this button to defeat Zamasu. Having this item was much safer than not having it. That's it, then. Well, leave now. Because Klonoa still needed to investigate other worlds with Zamasu, Lin Chen made an appointment with her to meet on Earth. Kranoa would personally send them to Trunks' world to investigate the Zamasu there. After making the agreement, they parted ways, leaving Zenith's palace separately. However, at this moment, they were unaware that in Lin Chen's world, in the sacred world of the Kai of Universe 10, Zamasu sat in shock in his abode as he looked at the God Tube in front of him. The battle of Universe 6 and Universe 7 was entirely different from what he remembers. In the scene, the contestant from Universe 7 was not Goku but a stranger he had never seen before. Broly? Who the heck is he? But what surprised Zamasu was not this. It was when he saw Lin Chen fighting Zenith's bodyguard after the tournament and he was even more shocked. In this world, there is someone who could fight Zenith's bodyguard to a standstill. What the hell is going on? Isn't he a Saiyan? Why is he even stronger than a god of destruction? Zamasu's gaze was extremely malevolent. In fact, although this Zamasu was from the future Trunks world, he had also watched videos from the world where Black Goku existed. He knew that the Zamasu from another world, who occupied the body of the person called Goku, was the most powerful warrior among multiple worlds. But now, Zamasu found that the situation seemed to be different. It seems we made a mistake. Different worlds produce different strong individuals. No, it seems our plan needs to be changed. Having just Goku's body won't be enough to fully realize the Project Zero mortals. The news on GodTube shocked Zamasu and made him realize the shortcomings of their previous Project Zero mortals. This made Zamasu determined. As soon as he finds Black Goku, he will immediately search for the Super Dragon Balls. However, at that moment, Zamasu suddenly raised his head, his face filled with fear. Wait, Black Goku. Where is he? Initially, Zamasu thought Black Goku might be chasing after Trunks, but now he suddenly wondered if Black Goku's disappearance was due to some other reason. Like, he is already dead. In the past, Zamasu would never have believed that anyone could kill Black Goku, but after watching the God Tube, he understood that this world was vastly different from the ones he had seen before. If those two people in God Tube had taken action, Black Goku might indeed be dead. Hey, Gaosu, pay attention next time. Don't go looking for ingrates like Zamasu again. Suddenly, a voice from outside interrupted Zamasu's thoughts, startling him. He quickly shut off GodTube and hid by the window, discreetly peering outside. There, Supreme Kai Gaosu and God of Destruction Rumshi were approaching together. Hearing their conversation, Zamasu no longer doubted Black Goku's whereabouts. The fact that the other party knows about him suggests that Black Goku is likely already dead, and it's possible that even this world's Zamasu has met an unfortunate end. Damn it. Just wait. Project Zero mortals will surely be fulfilled. Saying that, Zamasu used instant transmission and left the place. Just as Zamasu left, Rumshi seemed to sense something and glanced towards Zamasu's residence. Gaosu, whose house is over there? That's Zamasu's residence. Without further ado, Rumshi unleashed the power of destruction towards Zamasu's house. In an instant, it completely disintegrated into particles, disappearing without a trace. Trunks, the time machine's energy is ready. It's enough for multiple round trips. Speaking of which, Dr. Gero is really something, able to build such a large time machine. Bulma said to future Trunks. This was Universe 7, Earth, West City, at Bulma's house. Many people were gathered at Bulma's house on this day, preparing to see off future Trunks, Goku and others to another world. It had been a few days since Lin Chen returned from Zeno's place. Another time machine had been located, not the one used by Android 16, but the one Drive Gero and Cell from Future World used to travel. This time machine looked like a spaceship and could carry dozens of people at once. Future Trunks wanted to go back to his world to check if everything had returned to normal. While at it, he will also go and confirm Lin Chen's concerns whether there is still a Zamasu alive in Future Trunks' world. Besides Trunks, Goku and Vegeta also planned to go back and take a look, considering it as providing support to Trunks. Additionally, Lin Chen also ordered Frieza to go along as well. Since Lin Chen was waiting for Kranoa's message, he wouldn't go to the future world this time. Goku and Vegeta, on their own, made Lin Chen a bit uneasy. While these two were powerful, they often face setbacks due to the Saiyan pride and arrogance. In comparison, the cunning and ruthless Frieza is considered more reliable. Moreover, Frieza can survive in outer space, and Lin Chen can rely on him to handle any issues. Lin Chen-sama, I will certainly follow your instructions and successfully complete this mission. Lin Chen was quite satisfied with Frieza's obsequious attitude and nodded. Hey, Lin Chen, can't you make sure they destroy these time machines after resolving this issue? Honestly, you people are too much one time machine after another, is there no end to it? Beerus, who had specially come to watch Goku and others go to another world, couldn't help commenting. Beerus-sama, you can rest assured. Don't forget who I'm working for. It's just a few time machines, I can handle it. Lin Chen chuckled. Upon hearing this, Beerus' mouth twitched. Supreme Kai of Time Kranoa personally went to Zenith's palace to clear Lin Chen of the situation. Beerus had already heard about it from Whis. We're all set. Master, we're leaving. Once everything was ready, Trunks and the others boarded the time machine. With the power of time pushing them, they traveled to another world. Hey, Lin Chen, what are your plans next? After they left, Beerus patted Lin Chen and was about to ask about the follow-up information on Zamasu. However, unexpectedly, Lin Chen suddenly collapsed to the ground. Oh my, Beerus-sama, what did you do? Whis exclaimed. Others also looked over with surprised expressions. And nothing, I swear I didn't do anything. Beerus innocently raised his hands. At that moment, Whis crouched beside Lin Chen, checked him, and a look of astonishment appeared on his face. What's wrong, Whis? It's the power of miracles. There's an extremely powerful power of miracles attacking Lin Chen. He's currently using his power of law to resist this power of miracles, hence he's oblivious to external matters. Power of miracles? Beerus frowned and looked around. Why is the power of miracles attacking Lin Chen? While chaos ensued outside due to Lin Chen's unexpected mishap, inside the sea of consciousness within Lin Chen's body, Lin Chen was looking at the figure that had appeared before him in astonishment. Zamasu. Hahaha, you must be Lin Chen, right? Able to resist the power of Super Shenron, you truly deserve to be the strongest human in this universe. But humans are humans after all, how can they resist the power of the gods? Stop resisting and hand over your body quickly. You used Super Shenron. Upon hearing Zamasu's words, Lin Chen suddenly understood everything. His current situation was probably due to Super Shenron. They had suspected before that Black Goku had Zamasu from another world as an accomplice. Now it was confirmed, and the other's target was Lin Chen. Super Shenron is the most powerful divine dragon in the multiverse, and its power of miracles can fulfill almost any wish. Fortunately, this time, Zamasu wanted to exchange with Lin Chen's body. Coincidentally, Lin Chen now possessed the same power of miracles as the divine dragon. It was precisely this power of miracles that helped Lin Chen prevent Super Shenron, carrying Zamasu's soul, from seizing his body, and then a stalemate ensued within the sea of consciousness between Lin Chen and Zamasu. Lin Chen. In the real world, Tights and the others gathered around Lin Chen, who was unconscious, and could only watch helplessly. Mr. Whis, what's happening to Lin Chen? Lazuli looked at Whis and asked. I don't have the details, but I speculate that Lin Chen may have encountered something similar to what Goku from another world experienced, Whis explained. Another world? Beerus' eyes widened. Whis, is it Super Shenron? Whis nodded, probably. With Lin Chen's current strength, only Super Shenron's power of miracles can affect him. What do we do, Mr. Whis? Is there anything we can do? Tights asked. In the face of Super Shenron's power of miracles, it's impressive that Lin Chen hasn't immediately lost control of his body. Currently, we can only leave everything up to him. Suddenly, Whis frowned. Almost simultaneously, a golden and divine light rushed over from the outer space and collided with Lin Chen. Wah! Whis, what's going on? It seems to be the power of Super Shenron. It looks like the divine dragon is intervening again. At this moment, in Lin Chen's sea of consciousness. Just as Lin Chen was facing off Zamasu, the surroundings suddenly turned dark. Then, a massive shadow of Super Shenron appeared next to Lin Chen and Zamasu. Super Shenron! Lin Chen exclaimed. He hadn't expected Super Shenron to appear in his own consciousness. Roar! A dragon's roar echoed in the sky as the enormous shadow of Super Shenron flapped its wings, and its huge eyes fell upon Lin Chen. At this moment, Zamasu shouted in the divine language, Super Shenron. My wish has not been fulfilled. I know, a minor issue. Let me handle it. With that, Super Shenron's eyes glowed, and a red light burst out. Instantly, Lin Chen felt a powerful power of miracles overwhelming down on him. This power of miracles was so immense that in its presence, Lin Chen's own power of miracles seemed like irregular troops facing a disciplined army. Collapsing at first contact. Damn it! The immense pressure descended, and under the push of this power of miracles, Lin Chen felt like he was about to be expelled from his own sea of consciousness. This won't do. It's my body, and nobody can take it away. With a fleeting thought, Lin Chen's mental projection immediately transformed into a Super Saiyan silver gray. But relying solely on this form seemed insufficient to resist. Lin Chen gritted his teeth and took it a step further. Perhaps because this was his sea of consciousness, Lin Chen smoothly transformed into his current strongest form. Zamasu, upon witnessing the divine dragon take action, calmly waited on the side for the opportunity to take over Lin Chen's body. However, he suddenly realized that the Lin Chen before him had transformed into a new form he had never seen before. A body shrouded in black aura and deep red hair saturated with demonic energy. What kind of transformation is this? Zamasu was well versed in various transformations, having encountered several Saiyan forms in other worlds. However, he had never seen such a peculiar Saiyan transformation. Moreover, even though he couldn't sense the specific aura due to being in the sea of consciousness, Zamasu noticed that, after Lin Chen's transformation, Super Shenron, which had previously displayed overwhelming dominance, was stopped for a moment. Super Shenron. A minor issue, they'll resolve it immediately. Super Shenron hoarsely uttered a sentence, and then its eyes lit up once again with a crimson glow. In that instant, Super Shenron's power of miracles almost solidified and surged towards Lin Chen once more. It's not working. Gradually, Lin Chen found himself unable to resist. Even after using Ultra Ego, his power of miracles still couldn't contend with Super Shenron. Shouldn't it be normal not being able to contend against it? Lin Chen, no matter how much of a genius, could never match the power of miracles of Super Shenron created by the dragon god Zalama. Just a rough calculation, and Lin Chen knew that he could at most hold on for a few more minutes, and then he would probably be completely unable to resist. Lin Chen's gaze became colder and colder. It seemed that it was impossible to win by directly confronting using the power of miracles. Could it be that he has to watch helplessly as his body is taken away? No. There must be another way. Lin Chen roared and a white light suddenly enveloped his body. And at this moment, Super Shenron's power of miracles, like a torrential sea, finally drowned Lin Chen. In the real world, Lin Chen opened his eyes and got up from the ground. Lin Chen. Are you okay? Lin Chen looked at his own body, and a cruel smile suddenly appeared on his face. Lin Chen's body is now mine. It turned out that at this moment, Lin Chen had completed the body swap with Zamasu. The current owner of Lin Chen's body was now the soul of Zamasu. Die. After saying that, Zamasu gathered power of destruction in his hands and threw it directly towards the ground beneath him. But just as power of destruction was about to hit the earth, everything around suddenly paused as if someone had pressed the pause button. Then, everything began to rapidly rewind, from the real world to the sea of consciousness, and from the sea of consciousness back to the real world. Finally, time started flowing again as Goku and the others left in the time machine. Lin Chen came to his senses, turned to Whis beside him, and said, "Mr. Whis, can you check the current whereabouts of the Super Dragon Balls?" Whis was puzzled. "Hurry, please," Lin Chen hurriedly urged. The time reversal just now was the result of Lin Chen using the power of time. Realizing that he couldn't directly confront Super Shenron's power of miracles, Lin Chen opted for an alternative and used the power of time to rewind time, avoiding a direct confrontation with Super Shenron. At Lin Chen's urging, Whis quickly locked onto the location of the Super Dragon Balls. But he exclaimed in surprise, "Strange, someone has actually gathered all the Super Dragon Balls. Where are they?" After confirming the location of the Super Dragon Balls, Lin Chen immediately used instant transmission and rushed towards Zamasu. Although the Super Dragon Balls were powerful, if he killed Zamasu before he made a wish, everything would be resolved. However, just as Lin Chen traversed through time and arrived at the summoning scene of the Super Dragon Balls, to his surprise, the only figures present were the already summoned Super Shenron and a fearful-looking Zuno. As for Zamasu, he had surprisingly disappeared without a trace. Ignoring Super Shenron and Zuno nearby, Lin Chen searched around but couldn't detect Zamasu's aura. "Lin Chen-sama, are you looking for Zamasu?" Zuno suddenly asked. Lin Chen turned around and replied, "Yes, do you know where he went?" He has already escaped," Zuno explained. It turns out that Zuno appeared here because he was forced by Zamasu. Despite lacking a Dragon Ball radar, Zamasu knew about Zuno, an extremely special existence in the multiverse. Using force, Zamasu compelled Zuno to predict the coordinates of the Super Dragon Balls for him. Also, fearing that Zuno might inform others, Zamasu had kept him close. However, according to Zuno, just a moment ago, Zamasu seemed to have successfully summoned the Divine Dragon, but he seemed to have witnessed something terrifying. So, without waiting for the Divine Dragon to fully appear, Zamasu rotated the time ring on his hand and left this world. Time ring. Right, I forgot about that, Lin Chen sighed. Although the time reversal he had previously used only affected himself, Lin Chen forgot that Zamasu had a time ring in his hands. Time ring is not just a tool for traversing timelines, it also has the ability to protect the holder from the influence of the power of time. Just now, although Zamasu was unable to prevent Lin Chen from reversing time, relying on the time ring, Zamasu was able to retain his memories. So, when everything returned to the starting point, Zamasu immediately knew what had happened. Discovering Lin Chen's ability to manipulate the power of time shocked Zamasu. He realized that as long as Lin Chen had the power of time, the body swap between them was impossible. If Lin Chen reversed time before Super Shenron granted the wish, even Super Shenron couldn't fulfill the wish. Moreover, with time reversal, Lin Chen would also be aware of Zamasu's plan. Being the mastermind behind Project Zero Mortals and who almost eradicated the gods of multiverse in the original work, Zamasu's intellect is undoubtedly extraordinary. Weighing the pros and cons, Zamasu quickly made the wise choice to escape before Lin Chen found him, even abandoning the Super Dragon Balls without hesitation. It was Zamasu's cunning that allowed him to escape a disaster. In response to this, Lin Chen was helpless. If the two had been face to face at that moment, perhaps he could have stopped Zamasu. However, now, everything was already too late. Lin Chen-sama, what should I do?" Zuno asked. Hearing that, Lin Chen waved his hand, signaling him to leave. This time, Zuno was also the victim of an unexpected calamity. He had become Zamasu's target. If Lin Chen had not arrived, Zamasu would have killed Zuno after his wish was fulfilled. After seeing Zuno off, Lin Chen turned towards Super Shenron. It was still waiting for someone to make a wish. Looking at Super Shenron's majestic body, Lin Chen couldn't help but have lingering fears. The confrontation in his sea of consciousness made him realize the supreme power of Super Shenron. Compared to Super Shenron, Lin Chen still had a long way to go. The one who has gathered the Dragon Balls, speak thy wish quickly, or ill leave, Super Shenron urged, perhaps having waited too long. Hearing its urging, Lin Chen initially thought of letting Super Shenron leave like this. After all, Lin Chen currently had no wishes to make, and understanding the nature of the power of miracles, he knew he couldn't ask Super Shenron for help in becoming stronger. But at this moment, Lin Chen suddenly thought of something. Super Shenron, I wish for you to gather all the Zamasu from every timeline and bring them before me. Sorry, casually traveling through time is a serious offense in the multiverse, and I cannot violate the rules of time. Fine. This result was expected by Lin Chen, but he had an alternative wish in mind. Can you at least let me know the real-time locations of all Zamasu across worlds? Super Shenron responded, my power can only inform you of the current locations of all Zamasu across worlds. Lin Chen continued, can you mark them with something, making it impossible for them to hide their whereabouts? Super Shenron lowered its head, and a loud voice echoed across the sky, thy wish is very easy. Then, its eyes glowed with a blood-red color, and a strange energy began traversing through time and space, heading to different worlds. In the next moment, apart from Lin Chen's world and future Trunks' world, in 34 other main worlds, Zamasus in varying states suddenly felt a power entering their bodies. Shortly after, a red light, impossible to conceal, lit up on them. These red lights were exceptionally conspicuous and impossible to cover and hide in any way. What's going on? Damn it! World 32's Zamasu's eyes widened, staring at the unusual red glow on his body. He had just been about to attack his mentor Gawasu when an abnormal red light erupted from him, causing his plan to fail. Zamasu, what were you about to do? Were you planning to kill me? Due to the light emanating from Zamasu, Gawasu noticed his abnormal behavior, quickly creating distance and wearing a vigilant expression. Seeing his plan exposed, Zamasu wore a resentful expression. If it weren't for the light emanating from him, he would have already killed Gawasu a while ago. Gawasu! Can't you just die obediently? Why do you have to hinder me? Zamasu, have you lost your mind? Of course not. Everything I've done is for this world, for justice. Justice? Yes, this world doesn't need humans. I will eradicate all humans. Gawasu's gaze hardened. You're crazy, Zamasu, you have such dangerous thoughts. Repent quickly, Zamasu, while you still have the chance. Don't force me to act. Gawasu was about to make a final attempt to persuade Zamasu when he noticed Zamasu's gaze suddenly fixated behind him. So, Gawasu instinctively turned to look. But then, Gawasu found his stomach pierced. The Zamasu who should have been in front of him had somehow appeared behind him. Zamasu. Gawasu turned around instinctively, only to discover that there were two Zamaswon behind him and the other still standing in place. This. Die. Old man. This is the third time. As Gawasu fell, World 32's Zamasu looked in astonishment at the other Zamasu in front of him. This Zamasu was from World 16, future Trunks' world, and was also the same one that nearly took over Lin Chen's body. Who are you? I am you. Long story short, Project Zero Mortals needs modification. Do you see the red light on us? If we don't modify Project Zero Mortals, someone will soon come to kill us. Zamasu from World 16 said with a gloomy expression. When the situation was changing rapidly in different worlds, in Lin Chen's world. Exhausted, Lin Chen returned to Earth. As soon as he landed, a crowd gathered around him, inquiring what had happened. Having used the power of miracles and the power of time on a massive scale, it took a heavy toll on his spirit, so he continued to rest. So he quickly explained, keeping it short. After hearing it, everyone's faces were filled with shock and fear. If Lin Chen had truly been robbed of his body, what would have happened? Lin Chen is not Goku, his strength is even beyond that of the god of destruction Beerus. If Zamasu were to get his body, it would truly be the end of the world. No wonder I felt that the time around here was a bit off, turns out you reverse time, Whis exclaimed. Hey, Lin Chen, what are you planning to do now? Beerus asked with a stern face. As a god of destruction, he couldn't even intervene when this incident happened, making him feel somewhat embarrassed. I've already had Super Shenron mark all the Zamasu across worlds. Next, I will go with Konoha-sama to pursue Zamasu. His thinking is too dangerous, and there are also people from the Dark Demon realm involved behind him. We can't let him remain alive. After saying this, Lin Chen's eyes suddenly turned dark and he passed out. Lin Chen. As Lin Chen fell to the ground, Lazuli caught him. Tights asked, Mr. Whis, what's wrong with Lin Chen? Don't worry, he probably overused his powers. Didn't you hear what he just said? This time, Lin Chen went head-to-head against Super Shenron using the power of laws. Super Shenron is the creation of dragon god Zalama-sama. They had a direct confrontation using power of laws. The consumption is definitely not small, Whis explained. Hearing this, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. Then, time passed, and when Lin Chen woke up again, a day had already passed. After recuperating, Lin Chen was about to go look for Konoha to discuss how to deal with Zamasu when Konoha approached first. Lin Chen, did you do something to Zamasu? Konoha asked right away. You found out? Lin Chen smiled and explained his encounter from the previous day. After hearing this, Konoha nodded and said with a smile, fortunately you thought of using Super Shenron's power. Even dark magic can't conceal the mark Super Shenron placed on Zamasu. So, Konoha-sama, have you investigated everything about Zamasu? Yes, Konoha nodded. I've confirmed that 12 out of the 36 main worlds have anomalies. The Zamasu in those worlds are temporarily untraceable. To prevent the situation from worsening, I've temporarily slowed down the flow of time in the remaining 24 worlds, giving us time to deal with those 12 world Zamasu. What's your plan, Konoha-sama? Konoha furrowed her brow. The worlds where Zamasu is are all main worlds, and main worlds are the most likely to create new parallel universes. We must act quickly. Before the situation worsens, we need to deal with Zamasu. Otherwise, if we wait too long, the balance of the entire spacetime will be completely disrupted. Then let's act quickly. Konoha-sama, where do you think we should start? I'll take a look. Konoha reached out and summoned a scepter resembling an angel's scepter from the void. The scepter had a crystal ball above, and as Konoha held it and looked into it, she suddenly exclaimed. Huh? What happened? There are a lot of Zamasu gathering in the World 16. World 16, isn't that Future Trunks' world? Lin Chen was stunned. Goku and the others are in that world. Really? Upon hearing this, Konoha knocked her scepter on the floor. Immediately, a scene appeared in the crystal ball of her scepter. In the scene were Goku and his group heading to World 16. However, unexpectedly, they seem to be in a dire situation right now. What is this? There are 2 Black Goku. And 2 Zamasu too. Let's go, Lin Chen. Goku and the others seem to be in trouble. We need to immediately go and help them. Okay. Lin Chen nodded, then called Tights and others. After giving some instructions, he, along with Konoha, headed to World 16. At this moment, in World 16, Future Trunks' world. On an unknown planet, Goku was punched and sent flying. During the fall, he collided with Vegeta, and both of them fell on the ground together. "Father! Mr. Goku!" Future Trunks cried out in alarm. But immediately, Frieza's scream rang out from the side. "Forget about them. The enemy is attacking again. Darn it!" Future Trunks turned around, staring at the two figures in the sky, gritting his teeth. Those two figures looked similar to Zamasu but different. Because they have a spiky hairstyle which was similar to Saiyans' hairstyle, but the color of their hair was white. These two were the fused Zamasu born from the fusion of two Black Goku and two Zamasu. A few days ago, Goku and the others who arrived in World 16 initially had a period of boredom. Because upon arriving in this world, they didn't find any trace of Zamasu or Black Goku for a time. Finally, after searching all the way to Earth and still not finding Zamasu, everyone initially thought that Lin Chen had already taken care of Zamasu. But unexpectedly, at this moment, Black Goku, who should have been killed by Lin Chen, appeared again in front of everyone. If it were just one Black Goku, with the strength of Goku, Vegeta and Frieza, there would be no need to worry. However, the Black Goku appearing before them this time was not one but two. Simultaneously, there were also two Zamasu. The appearance of a total of 4 enemies made the situation more complicated. Especially during the battle, the group found out that the two Zamasu were immortal. No matter how they attacked, they couldn't be killed. Furthermore, the two Zamasu possessed a unique skill that allowed them to regenerate. With the coordinated teamwork of all 4 individuals, Goku and the others faced a fierce battle. However, although the enemies were numerous, Goku and his group were not lacking either. In a 4-on-4 situation, they were not at a disadvantage. But unexpectedly, at this moment, the two Black Goku and two Zamasu used Potara earrings to fuse, turning into two fused Zamasu. The situation instantly worsened. "We are justice. We are the world. In our world, we will never allow the existence of filthy creatures like humans." A cold voice echoed from above as two fused Zamasu, one on the left and one on the right, appeared in view of Frieza and Trunks. A devilish smile playing on their lips. "Ha!" Frieza's entire body shimmered with a golden aura as he once again charged towards the two fused Zamasu. Seeing this, the two fused Zamasu just smiled faintly. One of them ascended into the sky, leaving the other to face Frieza. Future Trunks clenched his teeth, a radiant blue aura enveloping his entire body as he caught up to Golden Frieza. Before returning to this world, Trunks had already mastered Super Saiyan Blue transformation under Vegeta's guidance. However, even with Super Saiyan Blue Trunks and Golden Frieza, they were still at a disadvantage against fused Zamasu. Just as the two of them arrived not far from fused Zamasu, he instantly disappeared. When he reappeared, fused Zamasu had already appeared behind them, with two energy blades in his hands. Swish! 2 arcs of light flashed by, leaving a bloody mark on the backs of Frieza and Trunks. Damn it! Isn't this the fusion technique of those two Saiyans from Universe 6? Why would they know it too? Frieza stared wide-eyed, expressing disbelief. Frieza had witnessed something similar to the fusion of Black Goku and Zamasu just recently in the tournament between Universe 6 and Universe 7. He just didn't expect this Zamasu to know it as well. This fusion is achieved with Potara earrings. Zamasu is a Supreme Kai apprentice, so naturally, he knows this technique, Trunks explained. What do we do? Dealing with just one fused Zamasu was already tough. Now there are 2. Let's run. Only Lin Chen-sama can deal with him. Frieza suggested. He didn't want to waste his precious life here, especially for another world. No, we can't. At that moment, Goku's voice came from behind Frieza. He and Vegeta had rushed back, panting heavily, as they had been sent flying far away by fused Zamasu's attack. Frieza will handle Zamasu. You foolish Saiyans. You and Vegeta are strong, but you're not a match for that Zamasu. No, we have a plan. Saying that, Goku suddenly pulled two things out from his pocket. Seeing the things Goku was holding in his hand, Frieza's eyes widened. Because in Goku's hands were Potara earrings, exactly like the ones Zamasu used, only with a slight difference in color. These were given to me by brother Lin Chen before we came here. Although I didn't want to use them, now we have no choice. Vegeta. TCH. I get it. Although Vegeta didn't want to fuse with Goku, he knew that fusing might be the only way to defeat fused Zamasu. However, as Vegeta took the earrings and prepared to put them on, a purple spacetime door suddenly appeared in front of everyone. Following that, the figures of Lin Chen and Supreme Kai of Time Kranoa emerged from behind the door. Brother Lin Chen. Your Majesty Links. Lin Chen-sama. Teacher. Four voices exclaimed simultaneously. Lin Chen. He is Lin Chen. Upon seeing Lin Chen suddenly appear, both fused Zamasu were momentarily stunned. The fused Zamasu, who had been sitting with his eyes closed, also flew over with a serious expression. It was clear that he was not going to stand by and watch anymore, but was preparing to take action. We meet again, Zamasu. Which one of you is the Zamasu who was trying to take my body? Lin Chen raised his head and sneered at the two fused Zamasu. Upon hearing his words, the two fused Zamasu exchanged glances, and no one stepped forward. He's not here. Really, how many of you Zamasu are participating in Project Zero Mortals? You'll find out, one fused Zamasu said. Eliminating all filthy humans is the long-standing wish of each Zamasu. Lin Chen, I've heard your power rivals that of a true god. Let's see how formidable a mere mortal like you is really. Saying that, the two fused Zamasu simultaneously rushed towards Lin Chen. Trunks. Divide this among everyone. Lin Chen threw a bag of senzu beans to Trunks and then said a few words to Kranoa. Kranoa-sama, I'll leave the sealing of spacetime to you. Upon arriving in World 16, Lin Chen and Kranoa had agreed that he would handle the battle, while Kranoa would be responsible for sealing the spacetime to prevent Zamasu from escaping. These Zamasu all had time rings, and if they can't win in a fight, and choose to escape, it would be troublesome. Once Kranoa moved far away, Lin Chen slightly closed his eyes. In the next moment, he suddenly opened them, and a terrifying aura, like a volcanic eruption, erupted out. Super Saiyan Silver Gray. Whoosh! At this moment, the two fused Zamasu had already charged towards him. Destruction. The two fused Zamasu simultaneously fired energy blasts, and these blasts merged in mid-air, forming a massive barrage that rained down towards Lin Chen. In an instant, explosions appeared one after another, causing the unknown planet to tremble in the midst of the explosion. Fused Zamasu's power surpassed even Super Saiyan Blue, and the coordination between the two fused Zamasu was incredibly synchronized. It's no wonder Goku and others were struggling in the battle earlier. However, this time, their opponent was Lin Chen. Thump! A figure swiftly streaked across the sky, and Lin Chen, piercing through the explosions, collided into one of the fused Zamasu. A point-blank explosion of shockwaves sent ripples through the air, making it quiver in response. When Lin Chen stepped back, a large hole had appeared in the chest of that fused Zamasu. Fused Zamasu stared dumbfounded at the wound on his chest. Suddenly, the astonishment on his face turned into a cold smile. Puff! Fused Zamasu's body instantly restored itself. It's useless. We've obtained immortality from Super Shenron. No one can kill us. Hearing this, Lin Chen grinned, bright sparks flickering in his eyes. Immortality? Teacher, be careful. They truly are immortal, we've already tried various methods. That's right. With the power of fusion and immortality, no one can stop us. Ha ha ha. After a burst of laughter, fused Zamasu clenched his fists. His whole body emitted a multicolored glow, and a divine halo appeared behind him. At this moment, Zamasu's aura had reached Divine Realm's second level, and his energy continued to skyrocket, with power level exceeding 20 billion. Because of you foolish humans, the world has become so filthy. For the sake of this world, die. Unleashing his full power, fused Zamasu confidently shouted. Then immediately, both fused Zamasu raised their hands, and hundreds of large cubes appeared above their heads. This is the toughest metal in the multiverse, Katchin. With a wave of his hand, these massive cubes came crashing towards Lin Chen. An insignificant natural object. A smirk appeared on Lin Chen's face as he waved his hand. Planet-destroying ball. Lin Chen unleashed Frieza's ultimate technique, but the power of this move was 100 times more formidable than when Frieza used it, leaving Frieza stunned. The enormous fireball directly engulfed the Katchin cubes, and then swallowed the two fused Zamasu. Did we win? Seeing the two fused Zamasu reduced to ashes, before everyone could celebrate, the two fused Zamasu rushed out from the fireball. A greater part of the two fused Zamasu's bodies was burned, but these two battered bodies had already returned to normal before they approached Lin Chen. Teacher! Trunks exclaimed. Don't worry, His Majesty can handle those two. No matter how powerful that Zamasu is, it is impossible for them to be stronger than His Majesty. Vegeta confidently declared. Goku and Frieza also expressed their confidence in Lin Chen. This confidence stemmed from Lin Chen's performance in the Universe 6 and 7 tournament. If even Zeno's bodyguard was no match for Lin Chen, then what was there to worry about? While Trunks and others were talking, Lin Chen was already in a fierce battle with the two fused Zamasu. As Vegeta and others said, even facing the combined attack of two fused Zamasu, Lin Chen easily handled them. Although fused Zamasu was strong, in terms of power, he was only slightly stronger than Goku, approaching the level of Beerus. However, he did not have the power of destruction, so he was still far from being as powerful as Beerus. The only troublesome aspect was fused Zamasu's immortality. Bang! Lin Chen's figure suddenly appeared next to one of the fused Zamasu. As the opponent's expression froze, Lin Chen threw a heavy punch, blasting fused Zamasu towards the other fused Zamasu. The two fused Zamasu collided in mid-air. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Lin Chen clasped his hands together in a lotus shape. Kamehameha. In the vast sky, a straight beam of light appeared, resembling a divine dragon roaring as it soared into the air, instantly reaching the two fused Zamasu without giving them any space to evade. The blue shockwave once again engulfed the two Zamasu, and waves of terrifying energy radiated in all directions. In the end, even the atmosphere of the planet was pierced through, creating a hole. However, amidst this surging energy, the two fused Zamasu, who should have been hit, emerged from the blast once again, their faces pale. The previous attack had failed to kill them. TCH. Lin Chen spat. Zamasu's immortality is indeed annoying. Much like Majin Buu's ability to regenerate, it's impossible to kill them without employing specific methods. That's right, Majin Buu. Thinking about the method he used to deal with Majin Buu in the past, Lin Chen narrowed his eyes. Back then, he could eliminate Majin Buu by using God of Destruction's power of destruction. He could try the same this time. Thinking of this, a sudden burst of red flames erupted from Lin Chen's body. Super Kaioken. With his power suddenly doubled, fused Zamasu was no longer able to keep up with his movements. By the time they reacted, Lin Chen had already sent one fused Zamasu flying with a solid punch. This punch was not flashy, it was just pure, unbridled power. Therefore, this punch practically shattered the body of that fused Zamasu. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Lin Chen instantly arrived before the other fused Zamasu and raised his hand. A bright purple light lit up in his hand, surrounded by dots of light resembling stars. This is. Facing this move, fused Zamasu's eyes widened. This is God of Destruction's Hakai. Correct. But there's no reward for guessing correctly. At these words, the face of fused Zamasu turned pale. The power of destruction of the god of destruction is precisely the power these fused Zamasu fear the most. Although they have gained immortality from the divine dragon, when they were learning under Gawasu, they had always heard about God of Destruction's power of absolute destruction, capable of annihilating everything. So, he naturally felt fear towards God of Destruction's power of destruction. Previously, these Zamasu chose to attack mini-worlds first because those mini-worlds didn't have a God of Destruction. And when preparing to attack the first main world, Zamasu chose World 16 because in that world, Universe 7 Supreme Kai Shin, along with Beerus, was already dead, saving him a lot of trouble. However, fused Zamasu didn't expect that even though he is not a god of destruction, Lin Chen could still unleash the techniques of the god of destruction. Thump, thump. Fused Zamasu's green face stiffened, his heart beating violently. He slowly turned his head, reaching out towards his other self. Save me. But the other fused Zamasu was drenched in cold sweat, involuntarily moving backward. Just at this moment, Lin Chen calmly shouted, Hakai. Accompanied by his loud shout, an endless power of destruction instantly surged towards fused Zamasu. Under this absolute power of destruction, fused Zamasu's body quickly began to be crushed into dust. No! Fused Zamasu let out an intense scream, and then began to disintegrate into dust. Disintegrating into dust is the result when an object is struck by the power of destruction. However, just when Lin Chen thought Zamasu would disappear like this, within the almost completely vanished body of fused Zamasu, the destroyed tissues unexpectedly began to rapidly regenerate. In no time, fused Zamasu returned to his original state, completely unharmed. Ha! Seeing this, Lin Chen couldn't help but be stunned. He hadn't expected that fused Zamasu, endowed with immortality by Super Shenron, would actually be also unafraid of the power of destruction. However, upon further thought, he realized that assuming the power of destruction could eliminate Zamasu was simply his wishful thinking. Because in the original work, Zamasu was never truly killed by the power of destruction. In the original work, Goku had also attempted to use the power of destruction to deal with Zamasu, and almost succeeded, but Zamasu used Mai as a human shield to escape. Thinking back now, at that time, Zamasu's body was also only partially destroyed. If it had continued, whether the power of destruction would have been effective or not remains unknown. But now everything is clear, Zamasu's immortality truly renders the power of destruction ineffective on its own. Originally, when Lin Chen's power of destruction destroyed fused Zamasu's body, Super Shenron's bestowed immortality and power of destruction unexpectedly counteracted each other. As Lin Chen had speculated before, Zamasu's immortality was different from Majin Buu's. The latter was actually the result of the power of creation, while Zamasu's immortality originated from Super Shenron's power of miracles. The power of miracles directly granted Zamasu the effect of not dying in the realm of causality, regardless of how severe the injuries were or how many pieces his body was divided into, it would regenerate under the influence of Super Shenron's power. It was a collision of laws, and relying solely on the power of destruction was no longer sufficient to kill Zamasu. Ha ha ha. I'm not dead. I'm not dead. Fused Zamasu, who unexpectedly didn't die, showed a face full of surprise. Another fused Zamasu quickly flew over to inspect. After confirming that everything was fine, this fused Zamasu exclaimed excitedly, "So, Super Shenron's immortality is this powerful. Even the power of destruction can't kill us. If we had known this earlier, we wouldn't have feared those gods of destruction at all." Ha ha ha. Gods of destruction with the power of destruction had always been considered by Zamasu as the biggest obstacles in Project Zero Mortals. Because Zamasu had always believed that, even though he had been granted immortality by the divine dragon, whether this immortality could withstand the power of destruction still remained a big question. Furthermore, Zamasu couldn't really find a god of destruction to let him experiment by destroying himself. So, until just now, Zamasu had no idea that Super Shenron's immortality was so powerful. And since even the power of destruction couldn't kill him, what reason did he have to be afraid? In this world, there is nothing left to fear. The expressions of the two fused Zamasu became arrogant at the same time. On the other side, Trunks, seeing Lin Chen's technique fail, was also somewhat surprised. "Father, what do we do? Teacher's technique is also ineffective." Vegeta glanced at him and said, "Why panic? His Majesty Lynx has more than just this one technique. Trunks, don't forget how many years it's been since you last saw His Majesty. Never underestimate him." Trunks paused at his words and asked, "Does the teacher have other more powerful techniques? Your teacher has even beaten the bodyguard of the multiverse's most powerful god." Vegeta smiled. Vegeta had absolute confidence in Lin Chen. And Lin Chen had no intention of disappointing him. Buzz! The two Zamasu simultaneously gripped the air, and two white sickle, each extending hundreds of meters, appeared in their hands. The two fused Zamasu swung the sickle of sorrow and attacked Lin Chen. Ding! Congratulations host for activating the intermediate martial arts talent. Comprehending the technique, Sickle of Sorrow. The system prompt that he hadn't heard in a long time sounded again, and Lin Chen reached out to grab. Sickle of Sorrow. A dark purple-black energy sickle, enveloped in silver-white aura, appeared in Lin Chen's hand. Although its length was only a few dozen meters, the aura it emitted was even more terrifying than Zamasu's sickle. The two fused Zamasus were stunned for a moment before they began to wield their Sickle of Sorrow, attacking. The 200 meters long Sickle of Sorrow transformed into crescent blades, slashing through everything with a formidable force. However, Lin Chen silently waved his hand, and the Sickle of Sorrow in his hand directly collided with the two Sickle of Sorrow, producing ripples. At the point where these three Sickle of Sorrow collided, space unexpectedly split open, and chaotic power emerged from the rift. Immediately after, the three of them moved simultaneously. The three Sickle of Sorrow continued to collide, cutting the battlefield space into chaotic fragments. "Come over here. This planet can't withstand it anymore." Kranoa suddenly shouted, and upon hearing her words, Goku and the others immediately realized that because of the rifts cut by the three of them, the matter on the planet under their feet was being rapidly sucked into those rifts. Cracks appeared on the ground, and rocks and minerals were being sucked into the rifts. Except for Frieza, Goku and the others quickly approached Kranoa, and an energy barrier isolated them from the outside. Frieza, confident in surviving in the space, ignored Kranoa's goodwill. At this point, the battle had already reached a climax. Under the continuous collision of Lin Chen's Sickle of Sorrow and the two fused Zamasu's Sickle of Sorrow, this planet was finally unable to bear it. Magma, stretching up to 100 meters, spewed out from the surface, and violent volcanic eruptions continued to occur. Meanwhile, at this moment, Lin Chen seized an opportunity, and a Sickle of Sorrow cut both fused Zamasu into two halves simultaneously. Following that, Lin Chen threw away the Sickle of Sorrow, and in his hands, 5 colored lights lit up. Swish, the 5 colored lights continued to expand, turning into 2 5-colored energy spheres. Looking at these 2 5-colored energy spheres, the two fused Zamasus were momentarily frozen in surprise. What kind of technique is this? I can actually sense 5 different power of laws. Zamasu, being a supreme Kai, knew the colors when power of laws were used. Power of destruction was purple, power of creation was white, power of miracles was golden, then power of time was silver, and power of space was gray. Now, Lin Chen's hands were filled with 5 different colors. Could it be that this move of his actually contained 5 power of laws? What a joke! How could a mere human comprehend so many power of laws? The two fused Zamasus dismissed it with disdain as their bodies began to rapidly regenerate. And just at this moment, Lin Chen's hands finally came together. Zamasu, see how you like this move. Light of Annihilation. Boom! The next moment, the energy formed by the fusion of the 5 power of laws surged out from Lin Chen's hands. In an instant, it engulfed one of the fused Zamasus. Ah! The expression of the struck fused Zamasu suddenly changed. The terrifying power crushed down on him, instantly disintegrating his body from the atomic level. At the same time, a stream of power of miracles also began to restrain the power of miracles bestowed upon fused Zamasu by Super Shenron. The clash of the 2 powers of miracles allowed the remaining powers to benefit. Fused Zamasu's body began to vanish, turning into dust. This time, his immortality no longer took effect. Just as incoherent sounds escaped fused Zamasu's mouth, suddenly, his body was crushed into dust. Then, carrying the power of the light of annihilation, it disappeared in the void. This time, the fused Zamasu did not get restored. He's dead. He actually died. The fortunate fused Zamasu, looking at his disappearing comrade, suddenly broke into a cold sweat and gulped. Too terrifying. This human called Lin Chen actually possessed power that could rival the gods. The other him wasn't wrong. Indeed, he was the biggest obstacle in Project Zero Mortals. Since he was an obstacle, he must be eliminated as soon as possible. At this moment, the fortunate fused Zamasu's face suddenly revealed a hint of realization. When everything calmed down, Trunks looked around and gulped. Is that Zamasu dead? Goku approached the battlefield, looked around and said with certainty, gone. Can't feel his aura anymore. We did it. Future Trunks excitedly clenched his fist. He didn't expect Lin Chen's move to be effective. Now, as long as they eliminate the remaining fused Zamasu, this world could be saved. Teacher. Please take care of the other Zamasu too. Of course. Lin Chen turned around, facing the last fused Zamasu. It was draining to use the light of annihilation, which simultaneously utilizes 5 power of laws, but he could still hold on for now. Just then, fused Zamasu suddenly laughed out loud, Lin Chen. Don't think you've won. Finishing his words, he raised his hand and rotated the time ring in his hand. Kranoa-sama, be careful, he is trying to use the time ring to escape. Lin Chen immediately warned. I know. Kranoa immediately mobilized her divine power, ready to block fused Zamasu's escape route. Under her power, the time ring in fused Zamasu's hand only opened a crack that was less than a person's height before it began to rapidly shrink. Before long, the crack disappeared. Sorry, it seems you're destined to die here today. Upon hearing Lin Chen's words, fused Zamasu's shoulders however began to twitch and he burst into loud laughter. Ha ha ha. A mere human dared to try to stop our righteous plan. Lin Chen. Let me tell you, don't think you've won. Your strength was already within our calculations. Huh. Lin Chen raised an eyebrow, sensing that there was more to his words. Remember when you asked where the me that tried to take over your body is? Why do you think he hasn't shown up yet? Zamasu laughed maniacally. I wasn't planning to escape just now, I merely used the time ring to send a signal to my counterparts in other worlds. What? Just then, Lin Chen abruptly lifted his head. Because he suddenly saw, in the sky, more than 10 beams of red light descending to the ground. He knew what those red lights were, they were the marks that Lin Chen had Super Shenron put on all Zamasus. But these marks appeared here, could it be? At this moment, immensely powerful auras approached from afar, gradually drawing near. In the sky, Kranoa, who was in the midst of sealing space-time, exclaimed, Lin Chen, it's bad. Someone is traversing through time and coming here. My seal only prevents someone from leaving, not from entering. Supreme Kai of Time-sama, who is trying to come in? Goku shouted. You idiot Saiyan. Look over there. Frieza pointed into the distance. Others gazed in that direction. Following that, they were all stunned, eyes wide open in bewilderment. To their surprise, more than 10 new Zamasu had suddenly appeared in the distance. Among these Zamasu, some maintained their original appearance as core people. And there were also some black-clothed people who clearly have had their bodies seized by Zamasu using Super Shinran. Among these black-clothed people who had their bodies seized, it was no longer limited to Goku. There were even other people, including Black Broly, Black Vegeta, Black Frieza, and even Black Jiren. What's happening? Why are there other black-clothed people? Vegeta, Frieza, look! Goku shouted anxiously. Shut up, Kakarot. I can see it. Vegeta gritted his teeth, then suddenly smirked. It seems Zamasu has good taste after all, knowing that I'm not inferior to you. Vegeta, there are more of me who got their bodies stolen. Goku immediately retorted. And the two of them started bickering. Frieza snorted coldly, cursing, fools, damn Zamasu, daring to steal even my body. I am Zamasu from World 17. I'm from World 5. World 20. These Zamasu each introduced themselves to Lin Chen, and then, the Zamasu who had taken over Jiren's body approached Lin Chen with a sinister grin. Lin Chen, we meet again. Lin Chen raised an eyebrow. Are you the Zamasu who tried to steal my body before? That's right. Black Jiren laughed. Lin Chen, although I didn't get your body, as you can see, I have now taken over the body of the strongest person of another world. And so have they. Each one of us has taken over the body of the strongest in our respective world. We will use these bodies to complete Project Zero Mortals and free this world from the suffering caused by humans. At this moment, the previous fused Zamasu also flew over. Everyone, I just confirmed that the power of destruction cannot deal with our immortality. Only Lin Chen has the means to kill us. Black Jiren said, so, all we have to do next is to eliminate Lin Chen. Once that's done, no one in this world can stop us, right? The next moment, Black Jiren put on the Potara earring on his ear. From the signal sent by fused Zamasu, they knew that one fused Zamasu had already been killed. As powerful as fused Zamasu is, he could also die at the hands of Lin Chen. For these Zamasu and black-clothed people, only by merging all of them could they possibly defeat Lin Chen. Let's merge everyone and kill Lin Chen. A unified voice echoed on dying land. Not good. Trunks, who saw this scene from a distance, suddenly screamed, transforming into Super Saiyan Blue, trying to stop these new black-clothed people and Zamasu from merging. Seeing Trunks taking action, Goku and others, who had already recovered their strength through Senzu beans, also rushed over. Lin Chen frowned, also attacking. In an instant, a black Goku was instantly killed by Lin Chen. Everyone, quickly put on your earrings. Zamasu and I will provide cover. While giving orders, fused Zamasu tangled with Lin Chen, trying to obstruct him. Get out of my way. Otherwise, I'll kill you first. For justice, I am willing to sacrifice myself. Then die. Light of annihilation. Lin Chen shouted loudly, and the five-colored light in his hands merged before an energy wave containing the five power of laws directly engulfed the fused Zamasu in front of him. Fused Zamasu was immediately crushed. However, the radiance of the light of annihilation did not end, it continued surging forward, subsequently engulfing several black-clothed people and Zamasu. But their deaths bought time for the others. As the radiance of the light of annihilation dispersed, 5 fused Zamasus, all with different appearance, appeared in the distance. All these things actually happened in just a few seconds. However, within those few seconds, the Zamasu Legion, originally consisting of over a dozen members, was swiftly decimated, leaving only 5 surviving fused Zamasu. But upon seeing these 5 fused Zamasu, everyone was astounded. Among the 5, the most prominent was Jiren Zamasu. In addition, there were Vegeta Zamasu, Frieza Zamasu, and 2 other Goku Zamasu. Each possessed strength not inferior to the previous 2 fused Zamasu and had the added benefit of immortality. On the other side, Lin Chen, the strongest among them, involuntarily reverted from the Super Saiyan silver gray form after using the light of annihilation twice in succession. His divine power was nearly depleted, requiring time for recovery. However, the recovery of divine power could only happen with time, and even senzu beans were of no use. Brother Lin Chen, step back. We'll handle it next. Goku and the others flew to Lin Chen's side. Although they had regained their stamina, the situation was far from optimistic. They were facing 5 fused warriors, while on Lin Chen's side, excluding Lin Chen himself, there were only 4 people. They were clearly not their match. But at that moment, Kranoa appeared beside Lin Chen. It seems you're struggling a bit. I can't just stand by and watch, she said, reaching out towards Lin Chen's head. Lin Chen, let me take a look at your memories. I'll summon reinforcements for you. Reinforcements? Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Several rings suddenly appeared in midair, and in the next moment, several figures emerged from the rings. Broly, Lin Luo, Taro, Goten, Trunks, Caulifla, Kale. Hit is here too. Upon seeing the figures in front of them, everyone exclaimed in joy. These were undoubtedly the reinforcements they needed most at this moment. They didn't expect Kranoa to have this trick up her sleeve. Brother Lin Chen, the details of the situation have already been explained to us by Kranoa-sama before she teleported us. Please let us help. Broly said. This is a multiverse disaster, Lin Chen. Let me lend a hand. Hit removed his armored trenchcoat. Uncle Lin Chen, let us help. Caulifla also spoke up. Kale nodded beside her. Little Trunks sniffed and smiled at his future self. Future me, let us help. Everyone. While we appreciate it, the enemy this time is too strong. Among us, only the teacher can deal with them. Even Mr. Goku and my dad are powerless. I know, they fused, right? Well, so can we. Taro said with a smile. You guys? Trunks was momentarily stunned. Yeah, it's just a fusion. We can do it too. Kale, let's go. Caulifla said to Kale beside her. Hey, more humans have popped up again. On the other side, seeing the sudden appearance of Broly and others, Frieza Zamasu remarked, I know them. They seem to be the Saiyans from Lin Chen's world, and Hit from Universe 6, he is a powerful guy too. It looks like it's the work of that Supreme Kai of Time. Jiren Zamasu furrowed his brow, helping humans, even though you are a god. In that case, I'll eliminate you as well. Go, let them know the consequences of opposing justice. In the next moment, behind the 5 fused Zamasu, halos suddenly appeared. Then, behind the 5 Zamasus, red dots formed from divine power appeared. These red dots turned into crimson blades behind the fused Zamasu, and rained down like droplets. Blades of Judgment. Oh no! Lin Chen inwardly exclaimed. His divine power hadn't fully recovered yet, and to stop this move, he had no choice but to transform into Super Saiyan Silver Gray again. However, just as Lin Chen was about to transform, a burly figure appeared in front of everyone, creating an energy shield that blocked all the crimson blades of judgment. Broly! Everyone! Please hurry! Broly shouted while supporting the energy shield. Let's do it! Vegeta! Goku nodded, handing a Potara earring to Vegeta. On the other side, although Lin Luo and the others didn't have Potara earrings, they began performing the Metamoran fusion dance. Everyone, we only have one chance. If the fusion fails, we won't have 30 minutes. Lin Luo shouted while dancing. Understood. In the next moment, 3 white lights flashed, and 3 fused warriors were born. These 3 fused warriors were Gotenks that Lin Chen was familiar with, as well as the fusion of Lin Luo and Taro, and Caulifla and Kale. As for the latter two fused warriors, Lin Chen was seeing them for the first time. According to the fusion naming rules, they should be called Taoyuo and Kal-Il. After them, Goku also shouted to Vegeta. Vegeta, let's fuse too. Come. Vegeta, with a hideous expression, put on the Potara earring. A surging and overwhelming aura erupted out, and the most powerful fused warrior, Vegito, appeared once again. Zamasu. Your opponents are us. Led by Vegito, the group of fused warriors, along with Broly and Hit, a total of 6 people, began to battle against the 5 fused Zamasu. So powerful. Too powerful. When these fused warriors appeared, the non-fused future Trunks and Frieza were dumbfounded, looking at everyone in shock. It was their first time seeing these so-called fused warriors, and they felt that the strength of these fused warriors was no less than that of fused Zamasu. Cheating. This is cheating. How can these Saiyans do this? Frieza exclaimed in frustration. In just an instant, he suddenly realized that his strength was at the bottom among them. Moreover, Frieza found it difficult to intervene in the current battle. For Frieza, who once considered himself the emperor of the universe, this was very humiliating. Wait, it seemed not just that. Soon, Frieza discovered that on their side, Gotenks seemed to be at a disadvantage. I've finally found a weakling. Kid, get out of the way, I'll deal with this guy. With that, Frieza transformed into his golden form and charged towards Gotenks' battlefield. Ya. In the sky, a brutal melee began. The intense battle left even the Supreme Kai of Time Kranoa, stunned. She just found some powerful allies from Lin Chen's memories. Who would have thought that they would be so formidable? The ongoing battle reached a fierce intensity, a rare occurrence even among all 444 worlds. On Zamasu's side, the fused Zamasus displayed astonishing power. Especially Jiren Zamasu, an individual unknown to everyone except Lin Chen, fused with Zamasu, possessed the strongest strength among the 5 fused Zamasu. His strength was so formidable that even Vegito could barely match him. Moreover, aside from their formidable power, all the fused Zamasu realm had reached Divine Realm Advanced 2nd level, nearly on par with the God of Destruction. In addition to harnessing the power of creation belonging to Supreme Kai, they have also mastered the power of space. With the power of space, their attacks were omnipresent. A casual strike aimed at the surroundings can traverse through spacetime, arriving directly in front of everyone. The spatial attacks simultaneously unleashed by the 5 fused Zamasu were impossible to guard against. However, their opponents were also unprecedentedly powerful. Vegito has already transformed into the Super Saiyan Blue, along with Taoyuo, who has also become a Super Saiyan Blue but possesses the legendary Super Saiyan physique, and Kal-Il, who has the energy of Kale and the talent of Caulifla. TN, it's Kal-Il instead of Kefla in chapter 415. It's the fusion of Caulifla and Kale, not Kale and Caulifla. Although the 3 were slightly inferior in terms of realm, they could break through the realm with their strength and, by relying on their powerful power level, nearly match or even surpass the fused Zamasu. Furthermore, there was Broly, who gets fierce the more he fights, and Hit, who has grasped the power of time and is stronger than during the Universe 6 and 7 martial arts tournament, alongside Golden Frieza, Gotenks and Trunks. For a while, the battle seemed evenly matched. No, as time passed by, it seems that the Z warriors on Lin Chen's side were gaining the upper hand. Only Jiren Zamasu was still evenly matched with Vegito. Hey. Zamasu, who is this guy you fused with? Why is he so powerful? Super Blue Vegito calmly asked amid the storm of attacks. What a joke. Why should I tell you, a human? Jiren Zamasu roared in frustration. Sure enough, something was off with the world where Lin Chen existed. Among all the main worlds, only this one has so many powerful beings. It was simply abnormal. Ha! Jiren Zamasu angrily threw a punch, and the fist pressure from this punch directly hit Vegito, carrying him as it pierced through the entire planet. However, shortly after, a golden sword emerged from the hole created by Jiren Zamasu, piercing through his body. In the next moment, Vegito emerged from the hole, a long golden key blade in his right palm. Damn it! You mortals, can't you just peacefully accept death? Jiren Zamasu cried out as he broke the key blade with a punch, then his body quickly got restored like before. Humans won't just sit back and wait to die, Zamasu. Vegito rushed towards Jiren Zamasu, fists bursting with energy. However, Jiren Zamasu simply extended his hands, effortlessly blocking Vegito's attacks. Final Kamehameha. Holy Wrath. The blue and white shockwave clashed with the massive fireball in mid-air, creating a brightness comparable to the sun. As Vegito and Jiren Zamasu's moves clashed, the others around them were swept in, blown in all directions. Simultaneously, the planet beneath them could no longer endure, beginning to crumble and disintegrate. Boom! 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 The core of this unnamed planet exploded, creating a massive ripple that spread out in all directions. Propelled by this shockwave, Vegito and the others were immediately swept into space. Except for Broly and Frieza, none of the others had the ability to survive in space. But at this moment, a faint light curtain suddenly enveloped their entire bodies. Under the light curtain, Vegito and the others were pleasantly surprised to find that they could breathe. Everyone, hurry up, this technique can only support you for an hour, Kranoa shouted. It turns out that she achieved all of this using the divine power of the Supreme Kai of Time. Understood. Vegito nodded. Just as he was about to lead the others to attack again, his gaze suddenly froze. In the distance, behind an asteroid field made up of fragments of planets, the 5 fused Zamasu were standing together for some reason. Then, these fused Zamasu each took out a red earring and put it on their left ears. Only Jiren Zamasu took out a black earring but didn't put it on. What are they up to? Trunks wondered. Lin Chen, too, had never seen these red and black Potera earrings and asked, Kranoa-sama, do you know what those are? I haven't seen them before either, Kranoa shook her head. This surprised everyone. Even the Supreme Kai of Time didn't know about these earrings. Where did these Zamasu get them? Jiren Zamasu calmly looked at Lin Chen and the others, a faint smile on his lips. Lin Chen. And the rest of you. As humans, you have indeed surpassed our expectations. But unfortunately, the outcome of human extinction is already destined. What a joke. Just with you guys. Vegito sneered and then gestured at him. Come on, if you're so confident, come over here. Don't think just because you're immortal, I can't kill you. Individually, we may not be able to defeat you all, but what if all of us fuse again? Let me tell you, we obtained these Potera earrings through a wish from Super Shinran. It allows all of us to fuse into one again. What? Everyone was shocked. So, the red and black earrings were obtained through a wish from Super Shinran. No wonder even the Supreme Kai of Time couldn't recognize them. Because they were created using the power of miracles. Open your eyes wide and look. This is the result of my resentment from all worlds merging into one. When we merge into one, the only true God in the universe will be born. Snap. Jiren Zamasu put the black earring on his right ear. Roar. Suddenly, everyone seemed to have heard a dragon's roar. In the pitch-black space, a white light suddenly lit up. In the white light, the 5 fused Zamasu first merged 2 by 2. Then, the fused Zamasu merged again. Finally, all the Zamasu entered the body of Jiren Zamasu. Then, as if on cue, a blinding white light erupted out. A tremendous and earth-shaking power manifested in midair. A golden halo appeared in front of everyone. Beneath the halo, the arrogant laughter of Zamasu resounded. Ha ha ha. As the white light dispersed, a Zamasu with a striking resemblance to the original Zamasu appeared in front of everyone. The fused Zamasu looked almost identical to the original Zamasu, but he exuded a terrifying pressure as if he were a true god. Ha ha ha, I have finally become a true god. That person was right. After fusing with all versions of myself across worlds, I can truly become a god. The new Zamasu that was born after the fusion of 5 people, or god Zamas, laughed arrogantly. At this moment, he could feel a surge of power welling within him. The golden halo above his head was the proof of his divine power. Then, god Zamas slowly lifted his head, and a divine radiance shot out from his eyes. Lin Chen. Get ready to face your fate. No one can stop me now. But before that. Suddenly, god Zamas reached out into the distance. Trunks, the weakest among them, was suddenly caught, his face contorting in pain. Grabbing people from a distance. A new power obtained by Zamasu after becoming a god. Trunks, thanks to you, I was able to learn about Lin Chen's existence in advance and make up my mind. Without you, we wouldn't be here today. Your task is complete. I'll send you on your way. God Zamas sighed lightly, a smile appearing as a faint white light shot out from his fingers, piercing Trunks' heart. Splurt. Blood suddenly sprayed out from Trunks. Trunks' eyes gradually glazed over, and his consciousness began to fade. It was at this moment that Vegito suddenly roared. Trunks. Vegito, born from the fusion, primarily possessed Vegeta's consciousness. Upon witnessing Trunks' situation, Vegeta's consciousness exploded. Driven by his resentment, the brutal aura hidden in Vegito erupted out. In his Super Saiyan blue state, his hair color deepened. Not only that, Vegito's eyes also enlarged at this moment, resembling the eyes of Super Saiyan God form. That Vegito actually broke through. Lin Chen, familiar with the original work, understood instantly upon seeing Vegito's appearance. Due to anger, Vegito finally broke through the limits of Super Saiyan Blue, reaching the dark blue state. Ah, Zamasu, I'm going to kill you. When Vegito yelled and rushed out, Lin Chen immediately threw a Senzu beam to Gotenks. Gotenks, use the Senzu beam to save Trunks quickly. Yes. Gotenks took the Senzu beam and hurried to rescue Trunks. Meanwhile, Lin Chen turned to Kranoa and asked, Kranoa-sama, is there any way for me to quickly restore my divine power? Lin Chen now regretted not choosing the divine power restorative elixir as a reward in a previous mission. Otherwise, he wouldn't be struggling to continue after using his special moves only twice. Lin Chen, I can accelerate the flow of time around you to facilitate rapid recovery of your body. However, I'm not sure how much divine power can be restored. It doesn't matter. I'll leave it to you, Kranoa-sama. Very well. Kranoa nodded and extended her hand towards Lin Chen, and a white light enveloped him. Soon, Lin Chen felt that everything around him seemed to be slowing down. This was because his own time flow accelerated, while the outside time remained unchanged. Roar! At this moment, fueled by anger, Vegito's aura was rapidly rising, surrounded by dark blue aura. Soon, Vegito's power level had instantly surged to nearly 80 billion. This was an incredibly astonishing number. Unfortunately, Vegito had not comprehended any laws. On the other hand, God Zama's divine realm was almost on par with angels. Vegito's power level was not strong enough to bridge the gap in realms. Seeing Vegito unleash his full power, God Zama's just smiled faintly and said, "Is that all? Then, go ahead and die." With a casual wave, God Zama's unleashed a fiery key blade, spanning over 20,000 kilometers, almost longer than the whole planet, slashing down in a straight motion. The immense fire turned into a key blade, directly cutting through space and descending towards Vegito with an unstoppable force. The power of the key blade was so immense that nearby meteorites would shatter into pieces even if just grazed by it. If this attack landed, even Vegito might not survive. Zamasu. Final Kamehameha. Vegito shouted, pouring all his power into the attack, blasting towards God Zama's key blade. All the nearby meteorites turned into debris under the collision of the two energy forces. A nearby moon satellite was even directly split in half by the collision of their energies. However, after a brief stalemate, Vegito realized that even though he had surpassed his limits, he still couldn't withstand God Zama's power. Do you see it? This is the difference between gods and mortals. God Zama's laughed, increasing his power. The halo behind him suddenly lit up, and the key blade gradually pushed towards Vegito. Seeing that he could hardly hold on, Vegito suddenly roared, Kaioken. 10x. Following Vegito's shout, a red aura suddenly appeared above his blue aura. This move was the Kaioken, which Goku stopped using after mastering Super Saiyan. Kaioken could unlock the body's full potential, causing a massive increase in power level, but it was a double-edged sword, causing significant physical strain. Super Saiyan itself was already a transformation with a tremendous burden on the body. If Kaioken was also used, even Goku couldn't endure it. Within 10 seconds, his body would completely break down. Therefore, for over a dozen years, Goku had not used Kaioken after he had learned to transform into Super Saiyan. However, after witnessing Lin Chen's Super Kaioken, Goku had considered using Kaioken to boost himself, but he later learned that Lin Chen's Super Kaioken was basically different and had no side effects on the body. Since then, Goku abandoned the idea of using Kaioken. However, facing an almost certain death situation, Vegito, the fusion of Goku and Vegeta's souls, knew he had to make a desperate move. Not using Kaioken means certain death. Using Kaioken, there's still a chance of death, but there's also a slim hope. And what Vegito is betting on is precisely this seemingly only thread of hope. When Kaioken began to take effect, streams of blood immediately appeared on Vegito's body. Those were the blood vessels bursting as his body couldn't withstand the strain. However, as the blood just seeped out of the skin, it rapidly evaporated into red gas by the surrounding aura enveloping Vegito's body. It looked as if Vegito's entire body had turned red. It can be said that every second from now on, Vegito was exchanging his life for strength. However, reaching the level of Super Saiyan Blue, the effect of Kaioken had also reached its limit. Although it's called 10x Kaioken, Vegito's power increased by less than 1x. To pay such a price to unleash it was only for one purpose. Zamasu. I absolutely won't let you off. After Vegito unleashed the 10x Kaioken with the determination to sacrifice himself, God Zama's super energy blade was finally blocked. Final Kamehameha, which had suddenly doubled in size, finally transformed into a wave of energy in the intense collision with the key blade, spreading in all directions. When everything disappeared, Vegito felt his strength drain from him, withdrawing from the Super Saiyan Blue state, staggering on the verge of collapse. If it weren't for the Potera earrings given by Lin Chen, with unlimited durability, Vegito would likely have reverted to the original form due to the exhaustion of his stamina. However, compared to Vegito's consumption, for God Zama's, it was just one of his attacks being blocked. And such an attack, he could unleash countless times. Overestimating yourself, human. With a thunderous shout, the golden halo behind God Zama's suddenly glowed, infusing even more formidable power into his right hand. Then, an key blade, even larger than before, feeling almost capable of cleaving the universe, once again slashed towards Vegito. Dad! Trunks shouted and rushed forward, exerting all his strength against the key blade. Gallic gun. Trunks' full power strike, however, was like a water gun against Zamasu's attack, unable to hold up for even a second. But at that moment, Gotenks, Carlyle, Taoyuo, Broly, and Frieza all rushed forward. They each unleashed their respective ultimate moves, then converged together, resisting the massive key blade. Only after personally facing it did they realize how challenging it was for Vegito to withstand God Zama's attack earlier. Now even with so many powerful fighters joining forces, they only managed to slightly slow down the descent of the Keyblade. This time, God Zama's attack was not neutralized. As they watched the impending terrifying attack, akin to divine punishment, everyone's faces turned pale. However, at that moment, a giant purple-black sickle of sorrow cut through the void and collided with God Zama's Keyblade. A loud thunderous roar and brightness, akin to divine punishment, nearly rendered everyone unconscious. As they gradually regained their senses, a silver-gray figure stood before them, holding a massive sickle of sorrow. "Thank you all. Leave the rest to me." "Dad," Taluo hesitated. The enemy's strength was evident to all, and even someone like Lin Chen might find it challenging to deal with the opponent this time. Taluo wanted to help, but Lin Chen saw through his intentions and shouted, "Hurry up and go. Take Vegeta with you and leave." Taluo was surprised by his father's tone. It was rare for him to speak like this. It was evident that even Lin Chen was cautious in the face of God Zama's power. Understanding this, Taluo reluctantly supported Vegeta, and the others temporarily took refuge with the Supreme Kai of Time. Meanwhile, Lin Chen. God Zama's looked at him with a sinister gaze. "Have you had enough rest?" "Yes, it's enough to teach you a lesson." Lin Chen appeared calm on the surface, but inside, he was painfully aware of his predicament. The time Vegeta and the others bought for Lin Chen earlier was only enough for Lin Chen to recover the divine power needed to transform into Super Saiyan Silver Gray once again. However, this divine power alone was insufficient to unleash the light of annihilation. But if Lin Chen hadn't intervened just now, Vegeta and the others might have perished. So, Lin Chen has no choice but to act. "Lin Chen, then I won't be polite. Let me show you the power I gained after becoming a true god." A gloomy voice sounded calmly. Behind Zamasu, the golden halo suddenly transformed into a colossal golden bird, spreading its wings behind Zamasu, emitting a sacred and majestic pressure. This pressure seemed to have a tangible force, forcing Lin Chen to continuously retreat. Absolute lighting. Rumble. Golden lightning suddenly shot out from the wings of the giant bird, heading towards Lin Chen. Sickle of Sorrow. Lin Chen shouted, and the purple-black sickle of sorrow in his hand instantly expanded to 300 m, spewing flames as it danced before him, continuously cutting through the incoming golden divine lightning. After several times, God Zama smirked, "Impressive, Lin Chen. That's the way. Only you are most suitable as the sacrifice for my ascension to God." Zamasu reached out into the air, and a similarly purple-black sickle of sorrow, wrapped in silver border, appeared in his hand. The two sickles transformed into crescent blades, creating ripples across the universe as they moved. The nearby planets, though they were far apart, were still affected. Shock waves crossed the universe and descended upon the planets, blowing away clouds and splitting the ground. After just a few collisions, every planet in the star system began to edge towards destruction. Because of Kranoa's protection, Trunks and the others were safe for the time being, but they were still awestruck by the ongoing battle. This battle had already surpassed their comprehension. So, the teacher's strength has reached this level. That's great. Don't celebrate too soon. Zamasu isn't weak, Lin Chen is facing a tough opponent this time, said Vegeta, who had already consumed a senzu bean and recovered his strength. Indeed, after a fierce battle, Lin Chen and God Zama's temporarily separated. While Zamasu remained calm, Lin Chen's forehead was covered in cold sweat, and his aura was somewhat unstable as he panted heavily. In terms of absolute strength, God Zama's had surpassed Lin Chen at this moment, only slightly falling behind in the divine realm. Facing such an opponent, it would be challenging for Lin Chen to win even in his prime, let alone now when his divine power was severely lacking. At this rate, he might not even be able to maintain the Super Saiyan Silver Gray state. What should I do? Lin Chen hadn't expected to encounter an opponent like Zamasu, who could engage in a pitched battle even above divine realm. As Lin Chen pondered his options, he saw Zamasu suddenly look towards a small planet several million kilometers away. Then, he opened his palm. Huh? Could it be? Lin Chen immediately looked in the direction of that planet. He saw the planet, originally a satellite planet, separating from its orbit before it started to violently hurtle towards him from a distance. Such a move exists too. Lin Chen was greatly surprised. Controlling objects from a distance was something Lin Chen could also do, but manipulating a small planet, how powerful had God Zamasu's telekinesis become? A rapidly approaching planet carried a force no weaker than an energy blast. However, Lin Chen frowned. Even if the planet was fast, it was still far enough away for Lin Chen to have time to evade. What was God Zamasu planning with this? In the midst of Lin Chen's confusion, millions of kilometers away, a black rift in space suddenly appeared on the orbit of the small planet. In no time, it engulfed the asteroid. The next moment, the asteroid that would have taken a long time to reach Lin Chen suddenly appeared beside him. With an immensely colossal size, it pressed down on Lin Chen. Lin Chen's gaze turned cold, and he waved his hand. Slice! The asteroid that was rapidly approaching him was sliced in half by the sickle of sorrow. The separated asteroid exploded midway, creating ripples that spread out. Zamasu seemed to have anticipated this outcome, showing no change in expression. His hands moved like a conductor, beckoning towards asteroids and even planets from all directions. Next, a terrifying scene unfolded. Planets that were millions and even billions of kilometers away from Lin Chen and others seemed to have been summoned, transforming into massive meteors rushing from the distance. This included the fixed stars of this stellar system. Like guided missiles locked onto a target, though far away, they all aimed at one target, Lin Chen. Before long, a series of rifts appeared in space around Lin Chen, and gigantic planets came hurtling towards Lin Chen. From the distance, Vegeta and the others stared in disbelief at this astonishing scene. Dozens of planets and celestial bodies attacking a tiny human, this scene was beyond their imagination. Even Supreme Kai of Time Kranoa couldn't help but reveal an incredibly shocked expression at this moment. Across the history of 444 worlds, such a sight was exceedingly rare. Faced with this situation, even if Lin Chen wanted to conserve energy, he had no choice. The sickle of sorrow in his hand danced continuously, transforming into crescent moon blades attacking in all directions. Planets and asteroids kept exploding. As these celestial bodies exploded, they released vast amounts of gases into space, causing the otherwise quiet vacuum of space to be filled with the clear sounds of explosions. Echoing incessantly. Amidst countless explosions of planets and asteroids, suddenly, an immense and colossal figure appeared. It was the sun of this stellar system. The oppressive force brought by the massive star was incomparable to the asteroids and planets. Apart from its astonishing aura, its enormous size also exerted terrifying gravitational pull and scorching heat. The extremely high temperature of several million degrees arrived first, and even the fragments of planets around were incinerated. Following that was the powerful gravitational force, firmly holding Lin Chen in place, preventing him from escaping. Of course, just that alone was not enough to render Lin Chen helpless. Instant transmission. Before the sun completely engulfed Lin Chen, he teleported, disappearing from his position. When he reappeared, he was already behind God Zama's. A dazzling radiance gathered in Lin Chen's hands, then erupted out. Kamehameha. In an instant, a terrifying blue energy beam shot forth from Lin Chen's hands, heading straight for God Zama's. However, God Zama's seemed to have anticipated Lin Chen's move. He turned around, revealing a sinister smile. Buzz! Lin Chen immediately felt the power of space appearing in front of Zamasu. This power of space directly swallowed his Kamehameha, and then a rift again appeared next to Lin Chen. When Lin Chen narrowly avoided his own attack using instant transmission, he looked somewhat disheveled at God Zama's. The opponent's power of space seemed to be even more profound than what was comprehended in the fused state. At this rate, not to mention whether a single blast wave can harm him, but even ordinary long-range attacks are unable to inflict any damage on him. This stellar system is done for. Seeing that all the planets in the entire stellar system had been annihilated, with even the position of the sun changing, Kranoa immediately knew that this stellar system was beyond salvation. However, she had no choice. This was a battle at the level of gods. Their energy, compared to the mortal realm, was already overwhelmingly powerful. No, we can't let them continue fighting, otherwise, this universe will be destroyed by them. Vegito, I'll send you to the sacred world of the Kai first, wait for me there. The battle between gods can destroy worlds, this wasn't just an exaggeration. Even though this universe was already in chaos thanks to Zamasu, Kranoa couldn't bear to witness the world's destruction and decided to take action. Without waiting for Vegito and the others to respond, Kranoa wielded her divine power, sending them to the sacred world of the Kai. Following that, in a swift move, Kranoa suddenly appeared beside God Zama's. God Zama's attention was entirely focused on Lin Chen, and for a moment, he didn't notice Kranoa's actions. What do you want? God Zama's turned around to attack, but then, his eyes suddenly froze, mouth agape, displaying an expression of incredulity. Time freeze. Kranoa's voice resounded abruptly. Although not proficient in combat, Kranoa could effortlessly execute various time-related techniques. When she used this technique, power of time emerged, directly enveloping God Zama's, rendering him immobile. Then, Kranoa addressed Lin Chen, "Lin Chen, you can't fight here, I'll send you to the sacred world of the Kai of this universe." "I understand." Lin Chen nodded, but he saw that God Zama's, who was initially immobilized, managed to break free and began moving slowly. Damn it. He is too strong. I can't send him over. Kranoa realized that she had underestimated the strength of the God Zama's. Right now, he indeed possessed the power of a true god. And gods, by their nature, were resistant to the laws of time. How dare you? I'll kill you first. God Zama's, who seemed to have quickly broken free from the laws of time, began to speak at a normal pace again. At the same time, a destructive radiance appeared in his hand, and he was about to attack Kranoa. Seeing this, Lin Chen gritted his teeth and teleported to Kranoa's side, his divine power surging once again. A stream of power of time was shot towards God Zama's. With the help of the power, the energy in God Zama's hands disappeared instantly, and then his movements, even his breathing, froze. Now. Kranoa nodded, and a dazzling light flashed by. Kranoa used the power of space, disappearing with the two of them from space. In the distant sacred world of the Kai, Vegito and the others who had arrived earlier saw Lin Chen and Kranoa appearing in mid-air, then landing on the ground. After a moment, as the dust settled, a violent explosion suddenly resounded. In the explosion, Lin Chen and Kranoa were both sent flying. Dad! Brother Lin Chen! Upon seeing the two people being sent flying, there was a collective gasp from the crowd. Despite the intense explosion earlier, Kranoa seemed to be unharmed. However, Lin Chen's situation was not good at all. He had unexpectedly reverted from Super Saiyan Silver Gray back to his normal state. When Saiyans revert from their transformed state, it usually means they have lost consciousness or suffered severe injuries, so everyone immediately tensed up. Fortunately, Lin Chen managed to climb to his feet from the ground. "I'm fine." Although he said that, when Lin Chen tried to transform again, he realized he couldn't turn into Super Saiyan Silver Gray anymore. He couldn't even transform into the Black God state. "I'm sorry, Lin Chen." Seeing Lin Chen's condition, Kranoa felt a wave of guilt. "It's all my fault. I let you consume too much power just now." Kranoa didn't expect that her wish to shift the battle to the sacred world of the Kai to avoid affecting the mortal world would lead to Lin Chen exhausting his last bit of divine power. Now, without Lin Chen, who would be a match for God Zama's? Trunks, give a senzu bean to brother Lin Chen. Vegeta said to Trunks. Trunks reacted quickly and gave a senzu bean to Lin Chen. Unfortunately, even though Lin Chen's stamina recovered after eating the senzu bean, he still failed to transform into the Black God when he attempted it. Lin Chen's divine power was now nearly depleted. Ha ha ha. Just then, from the direction of the previous explosion, arrogant laughter echoed. Following that, a golden giant bird soared into the sky, dispersing the surrounding smoke. God Zama's, with both arms outstretched like a cross, floated in the sky, exuding supreme majesty. You're finished. Lin Chen. Mortals are just mortals. Facing gods, you can only bow down and accept your fate. Shut up, Zamasu. Dad is just tired, he'll defeat you in a moment. Taluo shouted. But God Zama's countered with a golden lightning bolt directly. Be careful. Broly erected a barrier in front of them, blocking the attack, but he also fell, severely injured by the lightning. Broly. God Zama's looked at them with a cold gaze and said, see. This is your fate. Let me celebrate the arrival of the world of God starting from this sacred world of the Kai. Countless lightning bolts continuously struck down, falling around the group. Explosions echoed one after another. Soon, Vegeta and the others collapsed once again. The seemingly indestructible sacred world of the Kai also began to crumble, as if it were doomsday. Konoha-sama, sacred world of the Kai is not safe either. Take the others and hide to the side. Lin Chen, what are you going to do? You have no divine power left. Konoha noticed that Lin Chen seemed to be preparing to take action again and exclaimed. I know, but even without divine power, I have other strength. Lin Chen clenched his fist. Zamasu. Don't waste your energy. I am your opponent. Upon hearing Lin Chen's words, the lightning abruptly ceased. God Zama's gaze returned to Lin Chen, and he sneered, you. With your current state, you can't even mobilize the power of laws. How could you be my opponent? Zamasu. Don't underestimate humans, especially don't underestimate Saiyans. As soon as the words fell, Lin Chen's aura suddenly expanded rapidly. What is brother Lin Chen doing? Is he going to transform? It's useless. Teacher can't transform into Super Saiyan God now, and Super Saiyan 3 form is completely useless. Just as everyone was guessing, Lin Chen's appearance suddenly changed. His body first swelled, as if transforming into the legendary Super Saiyan form. Then, red hair grew on the sturdy muscles. Buzz. For a moment, the air in the sacred world of the Kai vibrated, and a boundless pressure surged out from Lin Chen's body. What form is this? Is this also a Super Saiyan? Such terrifying power. This strength is no less than that of Super Saiyan God. Vegeta and the others were shocked, and Frieza was also in disbelief. How many transformations do these Saiyans have? What appeared before them was Lin Chen's Super Saiyan 4 transformation. Lin Chen had only used this transformation when he faced Android 21 on Earth. But at that time, there were no other people present, so even Goku and the others didn't know that Lin Chen had this transformation. Only Konoha, as the Supreme Kai of Time, had seen a similar transformation in a different world. This is Super Saiyan 4. Super Saiyan 4. Everyone's eyes widened. So, there's a 4 above Super Saiyan 3? It's impossible. I've lingered in Super Saiyan 3 for a long time, yet I haven't discovered this transformation. Vegeta was confused. They certainly didn't know that the method of transforming into Super Saiyan 4 was completely different from ordinary transformations. At this moment, even God Zama's was somewhat shocked. From Super Saiyan 4 Lin Chen, he felt an unusually powerful aura. Although there was no divine power, the power of this aura was terrifyingly huge, completely different from before. However, that was all. After all, in fused Zamasu's view, although the power was formidable, without the power of the divine realm, it was still just the power of mortals. In front of him, it was not worth mentioning at all. Lin Chen, is this your trump card? It's just so. Feel the punishment of the gods. A golden lightning bolt instantly struck towards Lin Chen. With a loud rumble, Lin Chen opened his arms and blocked the attack. But he also retreated dozens of meters. Seeing this, God Zama's smirk deepened. Indeed, even though the appearance had changed, without divine power, he was still just a mortal. The ultimate victor would undoubtedly be him. Die. Rumble. Another lightning bolt fell, and this time, it was more than half larger than before. Although Lin Chen once again blocked it, the ground under his feet had completely cracked, turning into a semicircular crater. Dad. Teacher. Seeing this, others couldn't help but want to come and help. Don't come over. Lin Chen shouted loudly and said again, Konoha-sama, take them away from here. I'm sorry, everyone. Let's listen to Lin Chen. Konoha waved her hand, and everyone was enveloped by a sphere of light, and then they flew towards a distant place. At this point, you still want to rely on your own strength? Lin Chen, only gods can deal with gods. Wanting to use a mortal's power to face a god is the most wrong decision of your life. God Zama's cold voice rang out, and at the same time, a golden lightning bolt twice as large as before struck towards Lin Chen once again. Rumble. Lin Chen felt his legs go weak, almost kneeling to the ground. Beneath his feet, a crack several kilometers long twisted and extended like a biting serpent. Lin Chen's muscles trembled, veins wriggling like tiny insects, and his legs shook. God Zama's was right, at this moment, Lin Chen was far from being able to contend with the current God Zamas. Super Saiyan 4 is a power-type transformation that unleashes the wild power within a Saiyan. Although this power is formidable, almost rivaling that of a god, the keyword is almost. It still cannot truly compare to the power of a god. The current Lin Chen, at best, is equivalent to the level of the Black God, and still lacks the profound ability to use the power of laws in the Black God realm. If he was facing the fused Zamasu from before, he might still have had a fighting chance. But against this God Zamas born from the fusion of the Zamasus, the power of Super Saiyan 4 was clearly insufficient. However, Zamasu, don't underestimate the power of mortals. Today, I'll show you that humans should never be underestimated. Lin Chen's eyes glowed fiercely, and at that moment, his entire body suddenly emitted a golden aura with intense lightning swirling around. Simultaneously, Lin Chen's originally black hair gradually turned deep red. In just a few breaths, Lin Chen's aura unexpectedly got stronger again. Ha! A thunderous roar echoed through the heavens and the earth, emanating from Lin Chen's throat. In that instant, a majestic force, like a star, swept in all directions. The entire sacred world of the Kai experienced violent tremors. People in the distance were shocked by Lin Chen's transformation, their eyes revealing astonishment. Brother Lin Chen has transformed again. So powerful. Vegeta exclaimed in surprise. This powerful ki, there's a chance. A chance to win. Broly rejoiced. Taluo, Gotenks, and the younger generation were already cheering. Only Frieza looked embarrassed and envious. He suddenly felt that he should consider a new color transformation. These Saiyans become so much stronger just by changing hair color, he wanted that too. As the overwhelming aura swept through like a storm, at this moment, Lin Chen, with his red hair cascading down to his shoulders, appeared even more powerful than Super Saiyan God. His muscles swelled more than before, each inch seemingly filled with explosive strength. His disdainful gaze focused on the God Zamas above, emitting a tremendous aura that made the air tremble. The unparalleled power surged like waves, overwhelming and unstoppable. Suddenly, Lin Chen raised his hand towards Zamasu, and an invisible force surged violently toward God Zama's. Bang! The once godlike and majestic God Zama's was directly sent flying dozens of meters before finally stopping in a sorry state. God Zama's stabilized himself, his eyes filled with shock. What kind of transformation is this? As far as I remember, Saiyans shouldn't have this kind of transformation. And you don't even have godly ki. Why did that attack just now? Super Saiyan 4 full power. Lin Chen replied, Zamasu, this is the power of Saiyans without relying on the power of gods. This is the power of mortals. Bang! A tremor passed through Lin Chen's feet, and he suddenly rushed towards God Zama's, delivering a powerful punch squarely to his face. And God Zama's only reacted when the fist hit his face. Immediately, a huge pain struck, and God Zama's was sent flying backward, shattering numerous cliffs along the way before finally stopping several dozen kilometers away. Damn it! A golden aura burst into the sky, and God Zama's leaped into the air from the rubble, his face twisted in a grimace. A lowly creature dared to oppose a god. And as a god, he was actually sent flying without being able to resist. For God Zama's, who considered himself a true god, this was a huge blasphemy, a great humiliation. Unforgivable, unforgivable. With a wave of his hand, God Zama's summoned the sickle of sorrow, capable of cleaving the stars, into his hands. The sickle of sorrow expanded to dozens of kilometers and then fell straight toward Lin Chen. Die! However, to God Zama's surprise, Lin Chen grabbed his all-powerful sickle of sorrow with one hand. Grabbed it? After blocking the sickle of sorrow, Lin Chen's gaze sharpened as he walked step by step towards Zamasu. Super Saiyan 4, different from the previous Super Saiyan forms, had a qualitative distinction. If Super Saiyan God was the Saiyan's evolution towards becoming God, with power of law as the goal, then Super Saiyan 4 is the Saiyan's evolution pursuing the limit of the physical body. And Lin Chen's Super Saiyan 4 full power fully brought out the power of Super Saiyan 4. In the original work, only Goku and Vegeta, after fusing into Gogeta, achieved this form. The red hair symbolized that a mortal's ki has reached the peak, purely reaching a strength equivalent to the first level of the divine realm. Zamasu, your end has come. With each step Lin Chen took, it felt as if the ground beneath his feet had been scorched. Black footprints appeared on the ground, and black smoke rose. Within 100 miles around him, it felt like being enveloped in a giant furnace, suddenly becoming exceptionally hot. Watching the air distort due to the high temperature, God Zama's face twisted in rage, insignificant mortal. Only a bit of your power has increased. Suddenly, sickle of sorrow disappeared, and a golden giant bird appeared behind God Zama's, unleashing spear-like golden lightning. Absolute lighting. Thunder infused with godly ki struck down. Facing these thunderbolts, Lin Chen remained calm as a red ki blade appeared in his hand. Hum. With each swing, the ki blade cut through a thunderbolt, none able to hit its target. How is this possible? How is this possible? Seeing Lin Chen getting closer step by step while his attacks were ineffective, God Zama's became anxious. The thunderbolts accelerated their descent, but it was futile. Lin Chen's speed showed no signs of slowing. And as Lin Chen appeared on the horizon, finally visible to the naked eye, the red ki blade in his hand suddenly turned into a giant ki sword several kilometers long. Swish! The red ki sword pierced through God Zama's in the air, then through his body, shattering the golden bird behind him. God Zama's lowered his head, looking at the ki sword piercing his chest, his eyes filled with incredulous and terrified expressions. How is it possible? How could something like this happen? Zamasu, this is the power of humans you looked down upon. I'm impossible. Intense pain emanated from his chest, and God Zama's face was filled with shock and disbelief. He, a true god, was actually being overpowered by a mortal. The power of mere mortals could actually suppress him. Suppress him, a true god. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Lin Chen, today either you die, or I die. God Zama's roared, grabbing Lin Chen's key sword and pulling it out of his body. The immortality kicked in, and his body began to restore. However, what God Zama's didn't realize was that the healing speed of his body seemed to be slower than before. Boom! The air vibrated, and at some point, God Zama's had appeared before Lin Chen. Taking advantage of the fact that Lin Chen's one hand was still holding a key blade, he delivered a powerful punch. But God Zama's scheme was directly destroyed by Lin Chen's glare and aura blast. Hit by Lin Chen's aura, God Zama's head snapped back. By the time he stabilized his body, Lin Chen had already retracted his move, and his fists fiercely struck him. Zamasu experienced the power of mortals. Ah, 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 ah. Painful roars spread throughout the sacred world of the Kai. God Zama's was like a sandbag, continuously being pummeled by Lin Chen, with agonizing cries echoing one after another. God Zama's body kept shattering under Lin Chen's fists, only to revive again thanks to his immortality. Shatter, revive, the cycle continued. And God Zama's cries of agony became more intense. In fact, despite having immortality, God Zama's still felt the pain from each attack. It was like a torture session. While it couldn't harm God Zama's body, it constantly tormented his mind. In the end, the storm of attacks ended with a punch from Lin Chen that erupted like a shooting star. After receiving this final destructive blow, God Zama's entire body kept trembling and struggling. Then, his body began to disintegrate and crumble, as if a puppet made of sand was turning into shattered dust, floating in the air. Did we win? Seeing God Zama's body disappearing, those watching from the distance couldn't help but feel a moment of relief. However, to their disappointment, the already shattered God Zama's, after a brief moment, began to regenerate. But this time, after God Zama's recovered, something changed in his body. The part that had received Lin Chen's fatal blow didn't fully recover, instead, it turned into a purple tumor-like thing. What's going on? What happened to my body? God Zama's stared dumbfounded at the deformed part of his body. In the distance, even Vegeta and others had the same question. Kranoa, with her vast knowledge, explained, I understand. It seems that God Zama's body can't hold on any longer. Can't hold on? Yes. Although God Zama's has immortality, don't forget that only the original Zamasu possesses the immortal body. But the powerful beings' bodies he stole from various worlds are just ordinary bodies. It's likely that now, those ordinary bodies, under Lin Chen's continuous attacks, are breaking down at the cellular level and cannot recover. And Zamasu's immortality is still trying to forcibly resurrect these body tissues, resulting in the mutation of the body. Upon hearing this, Broly asked, does Brother Lynx have a chance now? Maybe, but without divine power, it's still challenging for Lin Chen to completely eliminate Zamasu. Lin Chen. Lin Chen. You've pushed me, a god, to this point. I will never forgive you. God Zama's unleashed a roar filled with boundless anger. At the same time, his body emitted purple raging flames. In these raging flames, godly ki was noticeably weaker, and there was more of the power of mortals. It seemed that after a torture-like beating, God Zama's was indeed struggling to maintain balance in his fused body. Now, he was attempting to harness more of the power belonging to mortals. After the roar, God Zama's crazily charged towards Lin Chen. With a bit less divine aura but a bit more strength, God Zama's movements were noticeably faster than before. The attacks were also more fierce. But in terms of power, Super Saiyan 4 full power would definitely not lose to anyone. Especially since Lin Chen had one more trick up his sleeve. Super Kaioken. The effect of Lin Chen's Super Kaioken was different from Vegeta's 10x Kaioken just now. His Super Kaioken was a system product, although it could only double the power level, it had absolutely no side effects. And this one-time power level boost was a tremendous amplification for the Super Saiyan 4 full power transformation. Under the red flaming aura of Kaioken, Lin Chen's hair and eye color even inclined towards orange. Around him, sparkling star lights flickered. At this moment, relying solely on power, Lin Chen had actually reached the level of Divine Realm Level 2. Boom! 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 God Zama's attacks were easily dodged by Lin Chen, none of them landing a hit. On the contrary, Lin Chen's counterattacks continuously struck God Zama's. Although each attack seemed to have no visible effect, like hitting cotton, with the cumulative attacks, the purple tumor-like areas on God Zama's body gradually began to increase. His injured body had reached a point where it couldn't recover anymore. Seeing this change, Lin Chen once again increased his speed. One deep sound after another echoed, and in an instant, countless clear fist imprints appeared on various parts of God Zama's body. Wherever the fist imprints appeared, God Zama's body exploded, then, during the recovery, turned into purple tumors. Ah, damn it! God Zama's seemed to be enduring indescribable pain, continuously emitting eerie roars. Zamasu! It's over! Lin Chen kicked God Zama's into mid-air and clenched his fists. Dragon Fist Explosion. A golden dragon roared, soaring into the sky. The colossal dragon head completely engulfed God Zama's in mid-air. Then, when the dragon disappeared, the God Zama's, now transformed into a giant purple figure, stood still in the air. Ha! Ha ha ha! Perhaps realizing he hadn't died, God Zama's burst into arrogant laughter. But suddenly, his laughter froze. Beams of light burst out from his body, followed by a deep explosion. God Zama's body exploded without warning, turning into colorful dots that scattered in the sacred world of the Kai. At that moment, Zamasu's aura and trace completely disappeared from this world. We won. We did it. Dad did it. Although they were quite far away, Taluo and the others could still clearly see the situation on Lin Chen's side. Seeing Zamasu meet his end, loud cheers erupted out. Teacher! Dad! Brother Lin Chen! As everything seemed to come to an end, everyone cancelled their transformations or fusions one after another and flew towards Lin Chen, wanting to celebrate and express gratitude. However, halfway through their flight, they noticed that Lin Chen had not cancelled his Super Saiyan 4 full power transformation. At this moment, Lin Chen, whose brows were furrowed, suddenly shouted at them, "Don't come any closer. Zamasu might still be alive." What? Everyone paused and looked around. But whether using key sense or observing using eyes, they couldn't find any trace of Zamasu. Was he still alive? No. Something's not right. However, Supreme Kai of Time Kranoa suddenly spoke up. Kranoa-sama, what's wrong? Broly asked. It's not just something wrong, there is something wrong with the entire sacred world of the Kai. Kranoa exclaimed. Just as her words fell, a red light filled with evil and resentment suddenly shot up into the sky, aiming straight for the horizon. What is that? Such an evil aura. As expected. Lin Chen looked up at the sky. At the moment when Zamasu disappeared, Lin Chen felt that something was off. His dragon fist was a technique similar to the spirit bomb, possessing purifying power. But just now, when the dragon fist erupted out, Lin Chen found that it didn't completely purify all the evil. Something had entered the ground before being destroyed. Now it seemed the thing that escaped was similar to Zamasu's soul. And now, this soul-like thing, using the power of miracles bestowed by Super Shinran upon Zamasu, was undergoing a new transformation. The power of miracles granted by Super Shinran made Zamasu practically immortal. However, due to the fusion with people like Black Goku, the immortal body has been weakened, to the point that now, Zamasu's body can no longer maintain a normal appearance. But regardless, the power of miracles was not so easily extinguished. Even if Zamasu's body was destroyed, the power of miracles still existed. Zamasu took advantage of this and redirected the power of miracles elsewhere. The red pillar of light shot into the sky turned into a black cloud. The black cloud rapidly expanded, quickly covering the entire sacred world of the Kai. Then, these black clouds suddenly transformed into a green sky. Countless sinister faces of Zamasu appeared in the green sky. Following that, Zamasu's signature evil laughter echoed in all directions. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Kranoa-sama, what's going on? Isn't Zamasu supposed to be dead? How is this happening? That guy, he's probably using the power of miracles of the divine dragon, forsaking his body and transforming into something else. Kranoa said. Something else? What does he want to become? Goku, who had already cancelled his fusion, asked. The universe. At this moment, Lin Chen's voice rang out. Everyone turned to see Lin Chen approaching them. Dad! Lin Luo and Taro, who had also cancelled their fusion, called out. Patting his children's heads, Lin Chen said to them, Zamasu wants to become the entire universe. With the power of Super Shenron, he might be able to achieve this. Kranoa-sama, Kakarot, take the others and leave here. I will stop him. Stop. Lin Chen, how do you plan to stop him? Kranoa asked. Yeah, Dad, how do you stop a monster like that? Lin Luo also asked. I'm going to destroy the sacred world of the Kai. Lin Chen said calmly, thanks to Kranoa-sama for choosing this battlefield. Sacred world of the Kai is a higher dimensional realm, and Zamasu has temporarily merged with the sacred world of the Kai. Its power hasn't reached the lower universes yet. By destroying this place, we can also destroy Zamasu. Destroy sacred world of the Kai. While Lin Chen spoke casually, it shocked Kranoa and the others. What kind of place was the sacred world of the Kai? It was a higher dimensional realm in the universe. In the Dragon Ball world, the space-time is set up like this. The universe where ordinary people live is the mortal dimension. Hell and the world where Supreme Kai lives are higher dimensions. Above these higher dimensions are the sacred world of the Kai and God of Destruction's planet, and beyond that is where Zeno resides. The higher the dimension, the more stable the environment. The reason why sacred world of the Kai is difficult to destroy is because it is already the highest dimensional world in the universe, except for Zeno's territory. And Lin Chen now surprisingly said he wanted to destroy it. Lin Chen, are you really going to do this? Is it even possible? Kranoa asked in disbelief. There's nothing impossible. Some things, you only know the result by trying. Just as Lin Chen finished speaking, a face of Zamasu suddenly appeared in the sky, opening its mouth towards Lin Chen and the others. The next moment, countless red energy blasts suddenly descended towards Lin Chen and others. Be careful. Instinctively, everyone exerted their full power and created a shield. However, the intense energy made everyone feel like they couldn't hold on. At the same time, outside the shield, the supposedly unbreakable sacred world of the Kai crumbled under this attack, resembling hell. Goku, Kranoa-sama, hurry. I will hold it for you. But, Goku hesitated for a moment. It's okay, don't forget I can use instant transmission. Upon hearing this, Kranoa had no choice but to say, Mr. Goku, let's go according to Mr. Lin Chen's plan. Damn it. Helplessly, Goku started pulling the others, and Kranoa also took several people with her, teleporting to another location together. After everyone left, all the pressure fell entirely on Lin Chen alone. Even though Lin Chen had transformed into Super Saiyan 4 full power, he still struggled against Zamasu, who had fused with the entire sacred world of the Kai. Without hesitation, Lin Chen immediately used instant transmission, leaving the original location. The red light then engulfed the place where they had been. In the dimension below sacred world of the Kai, North Kai's planet, Goku and the others instantly teleported here. Stepping on the ground, Goku exclaimed, "Wow, there's also a Kai's planet in this world. I was just planning to check, but I didn't expect it to be real." As Goku finished speaking, a deep voice nearby shouted, "Hey! Who are you guys? Trespassing into someone else's home without permission." Then, North Kai drove his car over slowly, looking displeased. But immediately after, North Kai froze in place as if struck by lightning because he suddenly realized that these strangers in front of him were a formidable group. Each one of them possessed the power to crush him like an ant. Hi! Sensing the disparity in strength between them, North Kai's expression immediately changed, fearing that he might offend them. "Hey, King Kai-sama, it's me, Goku. Don't you recognize me?" Seeing North Kai looking at them like they are strangers, Goku couldn't help but feel strange. Vegeta sneered, "Foolish Kakarot, this isn't our world." Vegeta? Although North Kai didn't recognize Goku, he knew Vegeta. After all, in this world, Universe 7 had once been ruled by Vegeta's Saiyan Empire. But wait, wasn't Vegeta killed by Dr. Gero? How did he appear here now? Just as North Kai was puzzled, Kranoa walked over. "North Kai of this world, I am the Supreme Kai of Time Kranoa. Supreme Kai of Time Sama." Once again, North Kai was shocked. He had only heard of the Supreme Kai of Time in the past but had never seen her. What's happening today? The legendary Supreme Kai of Time has appeared too. Supreme Kai of Time Sama, may I ask if there is a reason for your visit today? North Kai asked, rubbing his hands together. North Kai, can you see the situation in the sacred world of the Kai right now? I've used up too much of my power, and I can't confirm it. Sacred world of the Kai. Well, I can, but isn't Supreme Kai-sama already dead? North Kai suddenly froze because he saw a terrifying battle unfolding in the sacred world of the Kai. Who is this? How did the sacred world of the Kai become like this? Hey, Uncle Cockroach, what happened to the sacred world of the Kai? Taro anxiously asked from the side. North Kai's attention was entirely on the sacred world of the Kai, and he didn't have time to pay attention to him. However, at that moment, North Kai suddenly felt a tap on his shoulder. When he turned around, he saw Goku with a hand on his shoulder. Wow! How did the sacred world of the Kai become like that? Is brother Lin Chen okay? Huh? Kakarot, you can see the sacred world of the Kai too? Vegeta was puzzled. Yeah, Goku turned around. Just put your hand on King Kai-sama's shoulder. Then let me take a look too. Me too. Hey, don't push, let me also put my hand. Does it work on the forehead? Oh. It works. Upon hearing Goku's words, everyone immediately put their hands on North Kai. More than 10 hands pressed down on North Kai's short body, almost crushing him to death. However, using this method, everyone could see the perilous scene unfolding in the sacred world of the Kai. At this moment, Lin Chen was evading attacks from the sky. Zamasu has completely enveloped the entire sacred world of the Kai. His faces have spread across the entire sky. Although Lin Chen could teleport, he couldn't escape Zamasu, as Zamasu's attacks were coming from everywhere. And as soon as Lin Chen landed, Zamasu would immediately know his location. However, in the midst of dodging, Lin Chen's aura gradually began to strengthen. Moreover, a godly ki appeared around Lin Chen. Almost there. Feeling the godly ki in his body, Lin Chen tightly clenched his fists. The next attack would be his final all-out move. If even this attack failed, he would have no other options. In the next moment, a thunderous roar erupted from Lin Chen's throat. Along with the echoing roar, Lin Chen's hands suddenly emitted a colorful light, and a terrifying divine power appeared in his hands. Sensing this power, Zamasu, who had been roaring with laughter, suddenly spoke. This is impossible. How do you still possess such power? Hasn't your divine power been completely depleted? Yeah, this is the last one. Lin Chen smirked. Although he hadn't fully recovered enough power, he could only pin his hopes on this final attack. Zamasu, take this. Light of Annihilation. 5-colored light erupted out like a dragon, soaring into the sky. This light pillar contained 5 kinds of power of law, combined with Lin Chen's full release of strength as a Super Saiyan 4. Therefore, despite Lin Chen's insufficient divine power, the final burst of power was not much weaker than the authentic light of annihilation. The 5-colored light beam directly collided with the evil face of Zamasu in the sky. Crackle, crackle. Countless faint sounds echoed, and then, the evil face was crushed by the 5-colored light beam. All the faces of Zamasu in the sky began to emit a 5-colored light and disintegrated amidst the radiance. However, what disappeared was not just the Zamasu in the sky, the entire sacred world of the Kai entered the fate of destruction. The earth cracked, the sky vanished, and every single plant in the sacred world of the Kai rapidly withered and dissipated in the end. Finally, after a violent tremor, the sacred world of the Kai, which had existed for countless millennia, completely disappeared amidst a violent explosion. At the same time, the people watching through North Kai felt that everything in front of them turned completely white. Everyone instinctively squinted their eyes, unable to stare at the dazzling light. Then, suddenly, everything before them turned black. North Kai plopped down on the ground, his face pale. The sacred world of the Kai is actually destroyed. Oh my, this is an unprecedented event. Hey, Uncle Cockroach, don't just be surprised. What about my dad? How is my dad? Taro shouted. North Kai quickly got up from the ground and looked in the direction of the sacred world of the Kai. No, there's nothing left of the sacred world of the Kai. King Kai, you can check the mortal world, Kranoa reminded. The mortal world? Let me check. North Kai immediately shifted his gaze. Lin Chen's powerful aura was particularly conspicuous in the universe. Soon, North Kai found his trace. Found him. That person is still alive. Everyone quickly placed their hands on King Kai again, and then they saw Lin Chen floating alone in space. At this moment, Lin Chen had returned to his normal state, and his body was trembling slightly. Seemingly catching his breath. It's over. Floating in space, Lin Chen muttered to himself. Sacred world of the Kai had disappeared, and Zamasu, who had merged with the sacred world of the Kai, had also disappeared. Everything seemed to have come to an end. However, is it really the end? Just then, a red light suddenly appeared in front of Lin Chen. In this red light, the sinister face of Zamasu appeared again. Zamasu? You're not dead. Suddenly, a red light appeared, revealing a twisted and sinister face. This face laughed maniacally at Lin Chen before transforming into smoke, spreading out in all directions to envelop the universe. In the area that was first enveloped, twisted faces similar to the ones before quickly reappeared. All of this was identical to the scene that had unfolded in the sacred world of the Kai earlier. Zamasu, he had indeed not perished. Not only that, it appeared that Zamasu was attempting to turn the entire universe into a part of his own body. Damn it! Lin Chen transformed once again into Super Saiyan 4 full power, but despite having the strength, he had none of the realm. The light of annihilation earlier had completely depleted the last trace of his divine power. Without divine power, he could only rely on the strength of his physical body. However, facing Zamasu empowered by the power of miracles, ordinary attacks without utilizing the power of laws couldn't annihilate him. Not to mention that the current Zamasu had already begun to merge with the universe itself. Thinking of this, Lin Chen couldn't help but feel a headache. But at this moment, a strange scene unfolded. The smoke that was spreading across the universe suddenly began to retract and recede, returning to their origin. Furthermore, the smoke transformed back into a red column of light, then reverted to a humanoid form. In the end, this humanoid figure became clear, revealing none other than God Zama's. Seeing himself revert to humanoid form, even God Zama's looked shocked. Who did this? A furrow appeared on Lin Chen's forehead as he heard God Zama's words. Could it be that someone interfered just now? But there was no one else around except for the two of them, right? You fool, you've caused such a big commotion that even people who shouldn't have been alerted, and you didn't even notice? The power of miracles from Super Shenron is really wasted on you. Give it to me. By the way, return the power I gave you. You're no longer of any use. Suddenly, a woman's voice sounded. Who? God Zama's exclaimed, anxiously looking around. Lin Chen also held his breath and focused, searching for the source of the voice. Suddenly, he turned his head and threw a ki blast into the distance. With a whoosh, the ki blast seemed to be swallowed by space halfway through. But after a moment, the seemingly empty space suddenly trembled. It was the explosion of the ki blast Lin Chen had thrown, revealing a figure hiding in the space. Oh dear, resorting to violence against a lady at the drop of a hat. Are all Saiyans so barbaric? A crimson rift suddenly appeared in space, and a tall and slender woman calmly walked out from within. She had silver-gray hair, a voluptuous figure, a charming face, and was clad in a tight crimson outfit, holding a sharp staff. It's you! God Zama's exclaimed, seemingly recognizing the woman. Lin Chen recognized her too. This woman was Tao, the evil sorceress from the Dark Demon Realm and sister of Dabura, the king of the Demon Realm. Previously, Kranoa had mentioned that Zamasu's ring was enchanted with dark magic. Now, it seemed that the one who cast the dark magic was none other than Tawa in front of him. So she was the real mastermind behind all of this. You, woman. What did you just say? Who is of no use anymore? I said, don't make me repeat myself, Zamasu. Return Super Shenron's power of miracles and my dark magic. You're useless now. Tawa chuckled, pointing her staff at Zamasu. In the next moment, a golden power of miracles emerged from Zamasu's body, floating beneath a dark aura. The moment the power of miracles disappeared, the god Zamas, formed by multiple fused Zamasu, suddenly reverted to his original state. There were now a bunch of Zamasus and black figures. Our power of miracles. The fusion earrings from the divine dragon are useless now. Damn it, you ugly woman, give our things back. Black Jiren shouted as he attacked Tawa, but his attack went directly through Tawa's body. Zamasu, you did well. At least, I once believed you could truly kill all humans. If it weren't for you carelessly provoking those who shouldn't be provoked. Now, farewell. Tawa's body gradually turned into a phantom, then faded until she disappeared completely. UBA**tard. Give me back my power. Black Jiren yelled, lunging forward, but he hit nothing. Tawa's technique didn't seem like power of spacetime or instant transmission, it was a more mysterious ability, where she disappeared without a trace. Could this be dark magic? But what Tawa said earlier, Zamasu provoked someone he shouldn't have. Who could that be? Could she be referring to me? Not likely. Just a few seconds after Tawa disappeared, three figures suddenly appeared out of nowhere between Lin Chen and Zamasu. One of them wore a blue outfit, if not Zeno, then who could it be? The Zeno bodyguards around him confirmed his identity. Zeno-sama. The various Zamasu and black figures were terrified at the sudden appearance of Zeno. Why is Zeno-sama here? Could the person Tawa mentioned be him? While all the Zamasu were in shock, Lin Chen, although surprised, casually greeted, "Hey, hello, Zeno-sama. Who are you? Do you know me?" "Yeah, I know you. It's just that the Xeno-sama I know is from another world. Another world? Are you from a different world? Yeah, I'm Lin Chen. This is my proof of acquaintance with Xeno-sama from another world. As Lin Chen spoke, he took out Zeno's button. Seeing the button, Zeno immediately nodded, indeed, that's my button. It seems you're quite familiar with me from another world. Yeah. Looking around, Zeno asked, so, Lin Chen, do you know who destroyed the sacred world of the Kai of Universe 7? Someone destroyed the sacred world of the Kai in Universe 7, and the Grand Priest suggested I take a look. Destroying the sacred world of the Kai is a serious offense. Lin Chen paused, inwardly sighing in relief. Wasn't it him who destroyed the sacred world of the Kai? Fortunately, having Zeno's token gives him the initiative. Xeno-sama, it was those guys. Lin Chen pointed to all the Zamasu in the distance. They are the ones who destroyed the sacred world of the Kai. Super Kaioken. At the first mention of Vegeta's words, Goku and the others were all stunned. In this world, Goku had never used Kaioken in Super Saiyan form. Because he knew that using Kaioken in Super Saiyan form would burden him to the point of destroying his body. Therefore, he had never heard of anything like Super Kaioken. However, what they didn't know was that Lin Chen knew about it. He had obtained Super Kaioken technique from the system years ago. But the Super Kaioken Lin Chen got from the system was only 2x, and this Vegeta's Super Kaioken actually reached 10x. It's even more powerful than the technique given by the system. Lin Chen couldn't help but become curious, wanting to see what exactly this Vegeta's Super Kaioken was all about. At this moment, Vegeta, wrapped in a red glow all over his body, had already launched an attack on Goku. In an instant, the two clashed countless times. And Vegeta did indeed change his previous overwhelmingly disadvantageous situation. In his Super Saiyan form, he was evenly matched against Goku in his Super Saiyan 3 form. Their speeds were so fast that it reached the limit, to the extent that the naked eye couldn't catch up. Their figures were invisible in the sky, with only the continuous sounds of intense battle and explosions serving as evidence that the fight was still going on. This Vegeta is really a genius. After observing for a while, Lin Chen finally understood. Vegeta's so-called Super Kaioken was actually not the same as his Super Kaioken. Lin Chen's Super Kaioken had no side effects whatsoever, and it could be freely used in any form. Vegeta's Super Kaioken, on the other hand, was an improvement based on the Kaioken. According to Lin Chen's observation, Vegeta has used the Super Saiyan 1 full power form as the foundation, training in that form as if it were the normal state. This was similar to how Goku, during the Cell games, adapted to the Super Saiyan state by constantly maintaining it in his everyday life, especially when training with Gohan. Then, building upon this foundation, Vegeta engaged in Kaioken training, gradually adapting and ultimately achieving the ability to perform 10x Kaioken while in the Super Saiyan state. What an impressive guy. Lin Chen couldn't help but smile. Although in most worlds, Vegeta could only watch Goku's back, this time he had truly accomplished something even Goku hadn't. Currently, even though Vegeta's Super Kaioken could only be used in the Super Saiyan 1 form, he had taken a different approach, allowing Vegeta's power level to skyrocket to the level of Super Saiyan 3. However, 10x Kaioken merely brought Vegeta's strength to the level of Goku's current state. But was Goku currently revealing his true strength? Lin Chen didn't think so. As expected, in the midst of the ongoing stalemate in the battle, the situation suddenly underwent a slight change. The lightning that had surrounded Super Saiyan 3 Goku suddenly disappeared, and the aura that could make the earth tremble became suddenly restrained. This is, as expected. Lin Chen squinted his eyes. He had already figured it out. Goku was indeed hiding his trump card. After all, it had been several years since Goku first mastered the Super Saiyan 3 transformation. During these years, Goku had undoubtedly made new progress in the Super Saiyan 3 transformation. Super Saiyan 3, as a powerful transformation, had already shown remarkable strength when it first appeared in the original work. But in reality, the achievements of Super Saiyan 3 were not good, and it could even be said that the win rate was 0. This was because, despite its strength, Super Saiyan 3 has a weakness: extreme consumption of stamina. The first time Goku used it on Earth, he ended up exhausting too much energy, causing him to instantly lose the time he could spend on Earth. However, after so many years, Goku had evidently resolved this issue. Now, his aura was restrained, and he no longer wasted stamina like the original Super Saiyan 3. If given a name according to the past rules, the current Goku had evolved to the level of Super Saiyan 3 full power. Super Saiyan 3 full power not only addressed the issue of stamina waste but also surpassed the original Super Saiyan 3 in power level. This technique caused Vegeta, who had finally caught up with Goku, to immediately lose his advantage once again. All the effort seemed to be in vain. No matter how hard he tried, the genius Vegeta couldn't catch up with Goku, the true protagonist of the Dragon Ball world. For Vegeta, surpassing him was truly an incredibly difficult task. Vegeta, what a pity. Goku sneered and took the initiative to attack. The two once again engaged in close-quarters combat. The sounds of punches and kicks intertwined, resembling the continuous pops of firecrackers. This time, the pressure on Vegeta instantly increased. Goku's strength and speed were even more superior than before, making it challenging for Vegeta to keep up. Bang! Vegeta's powerful punch was suddenly dodged by Goku, leaving him astonished. As Vegeta tried to locate Goku again, he suddenly felt a cold breeze at his neck. Goku had appeared behind Vegeta unnoticed, launching a swift flying kick that sent Vegeta straight into the ground. Fortunately, Vegeta seemed to be unharmed and quickly jumped back up, with no weakening in his aura. Goku frowned. Strange, the gap in our strength should have widened. Why did the last attack have no effect? That's because Vegeta's Kaioken is not just 10x. Lin Chen silently answered in his mind. It seemed that Vegeta's Super Kaioken wasn't limited to just 10x. In the previous battles with Goku, there were several instances where Vegeta's power level skyrocketed in the moments he was hit by Goku. Although it was only for a moment, it allowed Vegeta to escape danger. Achieving this could only be possible if Vegeta, in that moment, unleashed a Kaioken of 10 times or more. If Lin Chen could see it, then Goku naturally could too. After exchanging blows for several rounds, Goku stopped and said, "Vegeta, when you were hit just now, did you boost your Kaioken to more than 10 times?" "Humph. Knew I couldn't fool you." Vegeta scoffed. Goku chuckled evilly. "The reason you only use a Kaioken of 10 times or more for an instant is because the burden on the body is too great for anything beyond that, isn't it? So, if I continue with consecutive full-strength attacks, you won't be able to keep up with the Kaioken that you can only boost for an instant. It seems this is your limit." Goku clenched his fists, thinking he had seen everything that Vegeta could show. At the same time, his patience was running thin, and it was time to deliver the final blow to Vegeta. But just as Goku was about to attack, Vegeta said, "Limit? No, this is not my limit. The problem you mentioned does exist, but once I transform into Super Saiyan 5th grade, it won't be a problem." "What?" Goku's expression changed abruptly. Not only him, but Lin Chen, who was observing from the shadows, couldn't help but widen his eyes. Super Saiyan 5th grade? What kind of transformation was this? Lin Chen had never heard of Super Saiyan 5th grade before. While the two of them were in shock, changes were already happening on Vegeta's side. Super Kaioken, 20x. An astonishing red pillar of light pierced through the sky and earth, and Vegeta's power level rapidly skyrocketed, ultimately surpassing Goku and even far exceeding his. This surprised Goku greatly. "Didn't you say you were going to transform into Super Saiyan 5th grade? Why did you just use Kaioken?" "Kakarot, I didn't expect you to be ignorant too. I've already transformed into Super Saiyan 5th grade. Vegeta pointed at his own eyes with his thumb. Haven't you noticed? The eyes of Super Saiyan 5th grade are black. Black pupils. Black pupils. If it weren't for Vegeta's reminder, not only Goku, even Lin Chen wouldn't have noticed that Vegeta had already reached the 5th stage. But Vegeta's aura didn't seem to have changed at all. What did Super Saiyan 5th grade mean? Why was Vegeta able to grasp 20x Super Kaioken just by changing his eyes' color to black? Before Lin Chen could figure it out, Vegeta had already launched his counterattack. Ha! The bugle call of the counterattack began with a blast wave. Vegeta simply raised his hand and threw out a ki blast, containing astonishing energy. The strength of this energy was so powerful that even Goku dared not confront it head-on. Before the blast wave hit, he disappeared from his original position. When he reappeared, Goku had already moved several hundred meters away, looking at the spot where he had stood moments ago with disbelief. Over there, a mushroom cloud had erupted out. However, Goku soon realized something was wrong because Vegeta had also disappeared during the explosion. Before Goku could find Vegeta's whereabouts, a nightmarish cold voice echoed in his ears. Kakarot, I'm over here. Vegeta had somehow appeared behind Goku, delivering a powerful punch to his head. Immediately after, Vegeta disappeared and he kept flashing around Goku at high speed. His speed was so fast that Goku couldn't catch him at all. Boom! A ki blast suddenly flew towards Goku. He hastily dodged, but his heart suddenly tensed. Because, taking advantage of this opportunity, Vegeta appeared in front of him. Goku's pupils contracted. Oh no! Big Bang attack! A force erupted from Vegeta's palm, engulfing Goku in an instant, the scorching energy completely enveloping him. Amidst the explosive light, Goku escaped in a sorry state, but before he could steady himself, Vegeta chased after him once again. Clenching his fists like hammers, Vegeta swiftly knocked Goku to the ground, settling the score for the earlier attack. However, despite knocking Goku down, Vegeta wasn't particularly pleased. Lin Chen also identified the reason. When Goku was hit just now, he used all his energy for defense, so he didn't suffer much damage. These two guys are both combat geniuses. In comparison, for some unknown reason, despite having the upper hand, Vegeta's aura began to weaken. It seemed that while Vegeta successfully overcame the strain of Kaioken on his body, his 20x Super Kaioken still consumed a considerable amount, making it unsustainable for a long time. At that moment, a figure suddenly appeared in front of Vegeta. It was Goku, who used instant transmission to close the distance between them. Goku seized the opportunity as Vegeta was canceling the 20x Kaioken, launching a sudden attack, catching Vegeta off guard. In a sorry state, Vegeta distanced himself from Goku and once again activated the 20x Kaioken. But this time, Lin Chen noticed something strange about Vegeta's situation. Despite using 20x Kaioken in full force, Vegeta's strength should have far surpassed Goku, yet he did not immediately attack. Instead, he relied on high-speed movements to move around Goku, waiting for the right moment. After a few seconds, Vegeta officially began his attack. Vegeta, could it be? Just as Lin Chen seemed to have figured something out, Vegeta cornered Goku. First, he feigned a move, forcing Goku to defend with all his strength. Then, taking advantage of this opportunity, Vegeta directly attacked Goku's back, placing one hand almost against his back. 20x Kaioken, Big Bang attack. Boom! The deafening explosion disturbed every molecule in the air, causing Lin Chen's eardrums to ache. Vegeta's attack shook the ground violently, mountain peaks collapsed, and a spectacular mushroom cloud soared into the sky like the explosion of a high-yield hydrogen bomb. If Vegeta hadn't controlled the direction well, the Earth might have been destroyed by his attack just now. Unfortunately, Vegeta's move didn't succeed. In the moment before the explosion, Goku used instant transmission to escape. Lin Chen shifted his gaze to the location where Piccolo was. He had noticed that Goku had moved there. Goku suppressed his aura, recovering his stamina next to Piccolo. The vast power gap between the two caused Piccolo to not act recklessly. It was really dangerous just now. If I hadn't sensed your aura in that split second, I might have died. I can't believe it, I ended up being a hindrance to Vegeta. Piccolo sighed with regret. Clearly, all that needs to be done is to kill Goku, and there's a chance to fix everything. In his view, if Goku were to die and then be resurrected by the Divine Dragon, perhaps it could change the current situation. But Piccolo was unaware that Goku's change was not just a problem with memories. Goku. Have you truly forgotten everything? Remember your past quickly. Piccolo, I'll say it again. I am not Goku, I am Kakarot. Piccolo gritted his teeth, son. Are you serious? What about the Goku who always identified himself as an Earthling in the past? Don't forget, you still have Gohan and Goten. Gohan and Goten. When Piccolo mentioned these two names, Goku's expression suddenly softened. Piccolo thought Goku's reaction was related to the names of his two children and immediately continued, that's right, Goku. Don't forget about Gohan and Goten. They will be sad if you act like this. So what? Goku suddenly said. Huh? Piccolo was momentarily stunned. Goku, you. I already told you, didn't I? Don't call me Goku. I am Saiyan Kakarot. Goku's expression became fierce. Piccolo, perhaps you don't know, but for Saiyans, family means nothing. My parents threw me to Earth when I was still a child. Saiyans don't care about their children. Goku, have you been corrupted by the Saiyan bloodline? Enough with the nonsense. Goku shouted, transforming once again into a Super Saiyan. His stamina seemed to have recovered. Vegeta, who was searching for Goku's whereabouts in the distance, sensed Goku's aura and immediately rushed over. Here he comes, humph. It seems I have no choice but to use that technique. Goku elevated his aura again, this time transforming directly into Super Saiyan 3. Piccolo, step aside. I don't want to waste unnecessary energy right now. You just stay there and watch how I kill everyone. You be a asterisk tard. Fine, I'll watch closely. Reluctant, Piccolo could only turn away and leave, but Lin Chen noticed that Piccolo didn't just move far away, he flew towards another direction. In the direction he was heading, Lin Chen could sense the auras of Gohan and Trunks. However, Lin Chen didn't pay much attention to them because at this moment, Vegeta had found Goku. The two destined rivals confronted each other once again. In their previous encounter, Goku was clearly at a disadvantage against Vegeta's 20x Super Kaioken. However, this time, he seemed more prepared. Vegeta, I've seen through your Super Kaioken. What are you talking about? What's there to see through in my Super Kaioken? Vegeta sneered dismissively, and a red light instantly enveloped his entire body. Super Kaioken, 20x. Asterisk bang. Bang, asterisk. The two instantly clashed in mid-air several times, releasing powerful energy attacks with their hands continuously. As before, Vegeta still held the advantage. But Goku's performance had improved significantly compared to before. He didn't engage in close combat but instead used instant transmission to constantly evade and create distance, waiting for the right moment to strike. Explosions resembling cannon blasts echoed as debris scattered in all directions like bullets. Boom! Vegeta threw a powerful punch, and Goku swiftly dodged it with consecutive backflips, creating distance between them once again. Vegeta could have pursued at this point, but for some reason, he stopped and spoke up. Kakarot, you looked quite confident, but why has your fighting style become much more passive? It's you who's being passive, Vegeta. The playtime is over, I've seen through your tricks, Goku laughed. What do you mean? I've seen through your Super Saiyan 5th grade. The true form of the Super Saiyan with black pupils is you returning to your normal state but maintaining the aura of a Super Saiyan. That's how you can use the Kaioken that a regular Super Saiyan's body couldn't handle. So, that's how it is. Above the clouds, Lin Chen squinted his eyes. Goku's explanation made everything clear to him. It turns out Vegeta had found a way to simultaneously maintain the aura of Super Saiyan without actually transforming. This meant that his body was indeed free from the burden of the Super Saiyan transformation, enabling him to withstand the pressure of Kaioken smoothly. Vegeta's transformation also led Lin Chen to speculate. Since Vegeta could retain the Super Saiyan's aura, could he preserve other aspects as well? At this moment, Goku below seemed to have more to say. However, Vegeta, your Super Saiyan 5th grade should only be able to withstand up to 10x Kaioken, right? In other words, your Super Kaioken can only provide an immediate power level boost up to 10x. But beyond 10x, your Super Saiyan 5th grade won't easily be able to counter the side effects of Kaioken anymore. So, after 10x, you can only slowly increase your Kaioken multiplier, allowing your body to adapt gradually. And at the peak of 20x Kaioken, you can't sustain it for too long. I've calculated, you can only endure for 15 seconds. This is the true nature of your Super Kaioken. Once you know the truth, it's easy to deal with. From now on, I won't give you any time to increase your power level. Goku's words completely confirmed Lin Chen's previous speculation. Indeed, Lin Chen also noticed the anomaly in Vegeta's aura during the battle. If we were to describe Vegeta's aura using a waveform graph, during the fight with Goku, Vegeta's aura consistently followed an undulating curve, rising and falling in a continuous loop. Before, Lin Chen didn't understand the reason, but now he understood. Vegeta's Super Kaioken needed adaptation time and could only last for a dozen seconds. This was a significant flaw, nearly impossible to compensate for. However, just as it seemed Vegeta was at a dead end, unexpectedly, he pulled out a new trump card once again. Ha! Boom! A blinding flash of golden light erupted out, causing Goku, who was preparing to attack from far away, to come to a halt in midair in shock. Vegeta let out a loud roar, and his energy surged, causing his upright hair to grow wildly as if gone mad, instantly extending down to his waist, while his golden eyebrows disappeared. Vegeta was unmistakably in Super Saiyan 3 form. It turned out that in this world, Vegeta had also mastered Super Saiyan 3 transformation. However, a transformation of the same level was impossible to win against Goku. Vegeta's body flashed in the void, initiating the attack. But these attacks were far less threatening than the previous 20x Super Kaioken. Goku smiled evilly, swiftly dodging them. At the same time, his fist slashed through the air, and he began to counterattack. The fluid and seamless attacks were like flowing clouds, overwhelming Vegeta, causing him to be disoriented and in a state of chaos. Suddenly, Goku lifted his leg, imbued with a chilling aura, viciously kicking Vegeta in the abdomen. As Vegeta was sent flying, Goku relentlessly followed, swiftly circling behind him. A powerful flying kick struck Vegeta's back, sending him flying far away before finally coming to a stop. Vegeta, you brought me many surprises. But it seems your plan to consume my stamina with Super Kaioken and then use Super Saiyan 3 to decide the outcome of the battle has failed. As you are now, you can't possibly defeat me. Vegeta, you can't win. So what? I'm going to destroy you along with this earth. From Lin Chen's perspective, the current situation seemed somewhat ironic. Because at this moment, Goku and Vegeta's position had completely reversed from when they first confronted each other. Even their power comparison was the same. Who would have thought that such a strange thing would happen in this timeline? Goku and Vegeta landed on a hill, locking eyes for a moment, and could see the seriousness in each other's eyes. After a brief and tense standoff, both of them moved at the same time. Suddenly, a vast flow of energy surged around them, and a large cloud of dust swept up as if a desert storm was approaching. As the battle progressed, the entire earth began to tremble violently, as if an earthquake was occurring all over the world. Rumble. The ground shattered, sending a spray of sand in every direction. The entire battlefield looked as though it had received the baptism of hundreds of small-yield nuclear bombs, becoming unrecognizable, a scene resembling the aftermath of the end of the world. Vegeta was trying hard to defeat Goku, but his opponent was just too powerful. Goku has always excelled at overcoming stronger opponents, so when facing someone weaker, he wouldn't make mistakes. Coupled with his rich combat experience, as time passed, Vegeta's injuries worsened, and his breathing became labored. If it continued like this, Vegeta had little chance of victory. But then, Vegeta's aura suddenly changed. What's going on? Lin Chen was puzzled. Although it was extremely subtle, he did feel that Vegeta's ki seemed to have changed at that moment. How to put it, it seemed like some kind of enlightenment. This guy Vegeta is also a genius. I didn't expect him to comprehend Super Saiyan 3 full power so quickly. Just then, Vegeta suddenly initiated the second round. Kakarot, I'm going to kill you. Suddenly, Vegeta's speed increased slightly, catching Goku off guard. A heavy blow landed on his face. This punch seemed to surprise Goku quite a bit, as he couldn't immediately counter. Kakarot, don't look around. Don't get carried away, Vegeta. Goku abruptly changed direction, flashed behind Vegeta, and violently kicked him. Puff! Vegeta spat out blood and staggered backward. Taking advantage of the opportunity, Goku gathered energy in his hands, aiming at Vegeta. Kamehameha. Before Vegeta could neutralize the force of Goku's attack just now, he saw Kamehameha rushing at him and seemed helpless. But at that moment, Vegeta suddenly pointed his finger at his forehead. Instant transmission. Seeing Vegeta unleashing his unique technique, Goku was shocked. For a while, Vegeta consecutively hit Goku several times. Vegeta, you have been to Planet Yardrat? I told you, I've done everything you've done. Damn copycat. Goku cursed in anger, but his body moved quickly. Vegeta chased after Goku, and both of them simultaneously used instant transmission to dodge and attack, engaging in a thorough high-speed melee. Soon, both of them were somewhat exhausted, but their strong beliefs kept them going. Shortly afterward, Vegeta swung his fist at Goku's abdomen. Thud. The chaotic and ruthless force struck Goku, causing a spray of blood as he bent over in pain. However, he quickly gritted his teeth, raised his head and roared, and his fists continued to punch, also causing Vegeta to scream. The battle between the two was more intense than any fight Lin Chen had witnessed before. Vegeta. Kakarot. Two sparkling and shiny attacks erupted out simultaneously, one from the left and one from the right. The bright shockwaves collided, creating a bright and dazzling flash that completely altered the terrain. After the flash subsided, the winner of the life-and-death struggle between the two was finally decided. Vegeta and Goku were both heavily injured, but ultimately, Goku emerged victorious. When Vegeta could no longer move, Goku still retained some energy as he floated in midair. It was really intense, Vegeta. Just standing here now is consuming a considerable amount of energy. I never thought you could reach this level. Vegeta lay on the ground, smiling bitterly. I can't even stand up anymore, Kakarot. Do as you wish. Alright, let me end this battle. I need to recover my stamina quickly. Just as Goku was about to deliver the final blow to Vegeta, the sky suddenly darkened. Is it the Dragon Balls? Did Piccolo and the others gather the Dragon Balls? Above the clouds, Lin Chen confirmed, then immediately used instant transmission to appear next to Piccolo and the others. Sure enough, at this moment, Gohan and the others had summoned the Dragon Balls. When Lin Chen arrived, Gohan was making a wish to Shenron. Shenron, please turn my dad back to his original gentle self. Upon hearing Gohan's wish, Shenron fell silent for a moment but said, unfortunately, this wish cannot be granted. Why not? Dad just lost his memory, we only want you to restore his memories. Unfortunately, Goku's current condition is not memory loss or a personality switch. Shenron explained, the reason he turned violent is that Majin Buu's demonic energy stimulated the Saiyan nature within him. Saiyan nature? What is that? Every Saiyan carries a specific aggressive trait within them, inherited through generations. In the past, Goku's head injury caused this trait to go dormant, but it was awakened by Majin Buu's demonic energy. Now Goku has fully reverted to his original nature, and this nature is beyond my power to change. How could this happen? Smack. Piccolo's hand landed on Gohan's shoulder. Gohan, Shenron did not speak wrongly. I'm afraid this is the situation now. Don't forget, even you had a violent side when you were younger. Pure Saiyans like Goku and Vegeta probably have a more violent nature within them. For example, Vegeta, perhaps you've already forgotten, but when he first came to Earth, he was extremely ruthless. That uncontrollable urge to destroy is the Saiyan nature. Later, Vegeta spent decades on Earth, leading to the calm appearance he has now. However, Goku's situation is different. His nature changed by accident back then, and he never truly overcame the destructive instinct of a Saiyan. So, accept reality. We can't save Goku even with Shenron's help.